Salute to my man, Anthony Madison. Shout out to Anthony Madison in the building. We are live and direct, man. Coming to you once again. We are here. Wow.
For the third time in 2 years, there was an apparent attempt to assassinate the president. And this time, members of his cabinet are believed to be targets as well. Hello and welcome to the CBS 6 News at 11. I'm Tracy Sears. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cortez was at that dinner, and she has the very latest.
He was fast. He was running full blast, and they got him.
President Trump.
Yo, Trump is so funny, man. Trump is hilarious. I don't think, there's never going to be another world leader like him, let alone a president. There will never be another world leader like him. Okay? This man is hilarious. All right? Shout out to everybody out there, man. There will never be another world leader like this guy. This guy is a psychopath. Listen to what he says, man.
At that dinner, and she has the very latest.
He was fast. He was running full blast, and they got him.
President Trump, still in his tuxedo late last night, hailed the Secret Service for saving his life again.
Where's it coming from?
In this video, if you listen closely, you can hear the series of shots and then the crashing of plates as officers rushed into the ballroom. As reporters crawled under the tables, the president and vice president were hustled out by their security details, as were the secretaries of Defense, Treasury, and Health and Human Services, along with the House Speaker and other leaders. The suspect had raced past the security checkpoint just upstairs from the ballroom, exchanging gunfire with agents before he was tackled. Authorities say Cole Thomas Allen, a teacher from California, sent a message to his family right before the incident saying his plan was to target administration officials, prioritized from highest ranking to lowest. His brother alerted police in New London, Connecticut, but it was too late.
Law enforcement has requested that we leave the premises consistent with protocol.
It was the third time in 2 years Trump has been targeted. First in Butler, Pennsylvania at a campaign event when a bullet grazed his ear, and then at his West Palm Beach golf course.
I am happy to be here.
The Washington Hilton, where last night's incident took place, has been the home of the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner since 1968. It was also the scene of the attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan in 1981. Police say the suspect in this incident booked a room at the hotel after traveling across the country by train. In his letter, he scoffed that there was, quote, no damn security.
We had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, sitting maybe at your table, who knows? But we had people all over the room, so he had a long way to go. That was really a first line of defense, and they got him. And they really, they acted incredibly.
Nancy Cortez, CBS News, Washington.
Trump is insane. He is insane, boy. That dude is a wild motherfucker. He said he was fast. He was fast.
There's been more trouble near Towson Town Center. Police are investigating an armed carjacking this weekend.
As WJZ has been reporting.
Okay, so this is the sound is too low on this one.
Here in New York, in the East Village, a deli worker was shot and killed on the job last night, and no arrests have been made. It happened in front of the deli on Avenue B in East 13th Street. Naveen Dhaliwal joins us live with the latest from there. Naveen, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Alan, his name was Abdul Saleh. He was 28 years old, and he worked here at the family deli, and he was here last night when he was shot to death. Now, his death has really struck a chord in this community. Family, friends, community members have been coming here to the deli. This is Sal's Deli and Grocery here on Avenue B in East 13th Street, and they've been laying flowers to remember Saleh. Now, police say this happened just after 11:30 last night when officers responded to a 911 call for this location. They say they found Saleh with a gunshot wound to the torso. They also found another 28-year-old also with a gunshot wound to the torso. Now, both men were rushed to the Bellevue, and that's where Saleh was pronounced dead. Family friends say Saleh was married. He was a father. He had just returned from a trip to Yemen to visit his family. His death, again, resonating with his community as so many are shocked and outraged.
What I heard was a pop, pop, pop. What I saw was my friend dying on the corner. I didn't see the situation that occurred until I saw the videotape. It was just an argument that started in the bodega, and then it made its way outside. And
so argument, that kind of like sums it up. It was an argument, so we know who did this. People who kill you over arguments usually have dark skin. So this was a Puerto Rican, Dominican, black, something like that. So far, that's what we know.
unfortunately, my dear friend, he's one of the funniest and most gentle and sweet souls.
Yeah, and that's what we're really hearing about this man, Mr. Saleh. He's, a good guy, hardworking. Now, as far as that second shooting victim, the 28-year-old, he's in the hospital recovering at this hour. He is stable. And right now, police say no one has been arrested. We're live in the East Village. Naveen Dhaliwal, CBS News, New York.
Naveen, thank you.
Man,
Andrea Medina is live at Illinois Masonic Hospital with the latest.
Hi, Jackie. We've learned the suspect has a lengthy criminal history. Now, the surviving officer remains in the fight for his life, surrounded by prayers and support, while fallen CPD officer John Bartholomew is being mourned across the city he swore to protect.
SWAT teams out, rifles, giant shields. It very much seemed like something pretty big was going on.
Madison Heckle's Ring camera capturing a heavy SWAT presence and a tense search through her Ravenswood neighborhood on Saturday as officers hunted for a suspect accused in the fatal shooting of Chicago police officer John Bartholomew and critically injuring another.
I have recently learned that he did go past my home. I wasn't aware of that until today.
Neighbors near Carmen and Washtenaw Avenue say it was nothing like they've ever seen before.
Yeah, it was extremely quiet neighborhood, and we were just having a normal casual Saturday, and it was pretty wild. Not anything I've ever experienced.
Even though I was standing right here the entire time, I really never felt scared or anything. This is all very tragic and very heartbreaking.
According to CPD, a man in custody for a suspected robbery was brought to Endeavor Health Swedish Hospital for treatment when police say he got his hands on a gun and shot two officers. The suspect then escaped naked, setting off a manhunt in the air.
Holy shit. Yo, he looked like a defensive lineman, man. I wonder if we can look at the tape and clock his 40 down. He could have made a lot of money this weekend at the NFL draft. How'd he get his hand on a gun? That's crazy. I've done this before though. I've got arrested and had to be taken to the hospital to get stitches. And then they take you straight to jail after that. That shows you how humane the system is, man. They will take you to the hospital. They will take you to the hospital, treat you for your injuries, and then take you to jail. What a great country we live in. Great time.
Area. Police say he was later found near the hospital and taken back into custody.
It was all able to be resolved without any further violence or shots fired because it was a pretty horrific thing that happened.
The loss of a Chicago police officer in the line of duty is now painfully visible outside the 17th district, where grief has taken over the front entrance. Blue ribbons wrap the doors and the Chicago memorial flag hangs at half-staff, a silent tribute to sacrifice and service. 38-year-old John Bartholomew, a 10-year veteran of the force, is being honored for his dedication to protecting the city he served. Another officer, 57 years old with 21 years on the job, remains in critical condition, continuing to fight for his life at Illinois Masonic Hospital. Both officers worked out of this police station.
Anytime there's a loss of life from a personal, from a first responder that's trying to protect the city, it's always tragic and sad.
When the 38th Ward alderman got word of the shooting yesterday, he was already standing in a room filled with grief at a fundraiser honoring fallen Chicago firefighter Michael Altman. A moment meant for remembrance, suddenly echoing with another tragedy. He says his thoughts immediately turned to the officers, their families, and a city once again forced to process loss. Now he says he's holding on to unity as the city mourns one officer lost and stands strong for the one still fighting to survive.
Just a tragic thing. It's just so sad.
At this time, charges against the suspect have not been announced yet. We're live outside Illinois Masonic Hospital. Andrea Medina, WGN News.
That is awful, man. I wonder how he got his hand on that gun, though. Hit the like button. Take the $5 challenge. Support the channel. Support the channel. Take the $5 challenge. Early. Get on the board early. Early.
Parking lot outside of Walgreens in Berry Hill erupted with gunfire this afternoon, leaving one man dead and another seriously injured. Our Sarah Allen was on the scene today and has the very latest on this investigation.
An attempted carjacking escalated into a fatal shooting in broad daylight in Berry Hill Saturday afternoon, leaving the attempted carjacker dead and his target seriously injured. A 44-year-old DoorDash driver parked outside of the Walgreens on 8th Avenue South to walk across the street to Chick-fil-A to pick up an order he was set to deliver. But when he got back to his car, another man approached him and at gunpoint attempted to force the delivery driver to hand over his car. But the delivery driver did not give in, and police say that's where things took a turn.
The robbery victim had a gun under his seat, was able to reach for that gun, retrieve it. As he was getting out of the car, it appears the suspect may have seen his gun. The delivery driver was shot one time in the leg. He then opened fire on the robbery suspect, fatally wounding him.
One man was just around the corner when the whole thing went down.
I heard gunshots, a bunch of them.
Now, that man was actually up on that hill when he heard what he thought were firecrackers. That caught his attention. He told me he immediately ran down the hill and found who we now know was that DoorDash driver screaming for help with that gunshot wound to his leg.
So let me find out. Some man tried to carjack, because the only people that ever try to carjack you are black people. So it's probably tried to carjack a white guy. White guy pulled out his gun and shot and killed him. I wish we had more video on this one. This is Berry Hill. Where is that?
That man also happened to notice another car speed off from the scene around the time of the incident, but police say it's too early in the investigation to determine if anyone else was involved. Do you believe that those were the only two individuals involved in this incident?
That remains to be seen. These were the only two who were involved in the immediate confrontation.
We also asked police if the DoorDash driver is facing any charges from the incident. They said this is still an open investigation, but from the interview with the DoorDash driver and surveillance video, they believe they have a pretty good idea on what took place. In Berry Hill, Sarah Allen, WSMV4.
Lot going on here, man. Lot going on. Salute to everybody. Shout out to my man, Big M 7686. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, man. We got a lot going on. Listen, just because we did a great show the last 2 nights does not mean that we ran out of stories. Every day the sun comes up, Sunmen gonna give you a plethora of stories, a plethora of news reports. Okay? Every morning, bright and early, it's gonna be fresh news out there.
2 puppies safe tonight after being stolen. Oh, you see them here. They were stolen at gunpoint from an Oak Haven pet shop. And tonight, 3 people, including 2 teenagers, now face a list of charges, including aggravated assault, after the puppies, valued at thousands of dollars, were snatched from Tion's Puppy Palace on Winchester Road. WRG's Caitlin Barker shows us how authorities were able to find those stolen dogs.
I think it's horrible. The animals deserve better than crooks.
That's the reaction many had after learning that these 2 puppies were stolen during an armed robbery at Tion's Puppy Palace on Winchester Road last week. According to MPD, a man and a woman went to the pet store asking about a Cane Corso puppy. While an employee was showing the duo 2 puppies, the victim told investigators the pair acted suspicious, continually looking towards the entrance of the pet shop. Moments later, 2 suspects entered the pet store with guns, stealing the puppies before leaving separately.
If they don't sell them, what are they going to do with them?
For those answers, I went directly to Tion's Puppy Palace. Even though the store is closed on Sunday, I was able to speak briefly with the owner. He told me he didn't have time for an interview today, but said he's grateful to MPD for getting the dogs back safely just 3 days after they were stolen. This pet lover told me she can't imagine how someone could steal innocent animals.
They're lovable creatures, more lovable than some humans.
Memphis police tell us it was a traffic stop of one of the suspects' cars 2 days after the puppy heist that led them to detaining 4 males. Tonight, 3 teenagers are looking at charges. 18-year-old Carlos Thomas and 2 17-year-olds face multiple charges, including aggravated robbery, theft of property, and prohibited weapons. Thomas is out of jail on a $4,500 bond and is scheduled to be in court on Monday. It's unclear if the woman involved in this case will also face charges. The owner of Tion's Puppy Palace told me these puppies still need a home and are currently $2,000 each. I'm Caitlin Barker reporting for your news leader, WREG News Channel 3.
Wow.
And let's hope they go to a good home. And police also telling us when they stopped that wanted car, officers recovered 3 guns, including a stolen Glock handgun equipped with a switch.
Wow. Lot going on, man. Lot going on. A lot of violent crime, man. A lot of violent crime going on this weekend. Donald Trump was not the only one who had an attempt on his life. A lot of people had attempts on their life.
A Metro Atlanta woman says she is living in a tent outside of her home because mold in her rental unit has gone untreated for months. As Channel 2 investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln reports from Carrollton, the renter says she has no other choice.
We were inside this home this afternoon. As soon as you step foot inside at the door, you can smell a strong mold odor. The renter here at this property tells me she had no choice but to live outside in this tent and has been living out here for 2 months.
This is my current house. It's a little tight.
Since March, Carrollton renter Erica Jackson says she's been calling this tent home.
This is my kitchen area. This is my air conditioner.
Outfitted with the basics, a setup she says became her only option after months of dealing with a mold problem.
I'm looking for someone that can help me.
She says shortly after moving into the duplex, she started seeing mold creeping onto her belongings. After weeks of complaints, her landlord, Wilson Family Properties, hired a third party to test the unit. While environmentalists detected mold inside the home, it did not suggest additional remediation.
I can't breathe in my house, even with the windows up.
Jackson brought in her own specialist who also found high levels of outdoor mold, pointing to a moisture issue with the home's roof.
I'm not safe in the house.
I reached out to Wilson Family Properties. A representative said the company hired 2 companies to inspect the home and found no mold issues. They sent us one of those reports, which says, I see no reason to suspect a mold issue in the home at this time. A representative described Jackson as disgruntled because she owes months in back rent. Jackson denied owing 4 months back rent. However, she says she's behind just 1 month after intentionally withholding her rent because of denied repairs. This magistrate court document shows Wilson Family Properties took her to court for $1,200 owed in back rent.
I'm in a binding contract, and the same way I'm supposed to hold up my end of the bargain, they're supposed to hold up theirs.
And a judge will hear Jackson's case this Friday, where she says she plans to present those findings from that inspection. Reporting in Carroll County, I'm Ashley Lincoln for Channel 2 Action.
Wow. Wow. Let's see what else is going on around the country, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. Hit the like button, take the $5 challenge, sponsor the programming. It's a lot going on in this last day of the weekend. Pittsburgh.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Erica Stanish, and we are sharing breaking details tonight out of Armstrong County, where a woman was shot and killed in an early morning shooting. It happened at a bar, also injuring 3 others. KDKA's Ricky Sayer is live with new information from police. Ricky.
Well, we saw a state police tech here within the past hour. They were picking up security camera footage from a neighboring house. It could show what happened in the parking lot of a bar right across the street from us here in Parks Township. It's called Nikki's Quick 6. Police say 4 people were shot there last night. They say 34-year-old Jessica Hilliard died in the shooting. Police do have a suspect in custody. His name is David Dunmeyer. A neighbor told us they heard at least 6 gunshots early this morning. Police say before the shooting, there was a physical altercation. They say Dunmeyer then picked up a gun and shot at multiple people. He's now facing homicide charges. Hilliard was found dead on the scene. A neighbor told us that he saw people performing CPR, but they weren't successful.
I feel bad that somebody lost their life. It's a shame. Not knowing the circumstances, which I don't think would make any difference. It's a shame anybody has to lose their life over something that might be stupid or just plain stupidity itself.
So one of the individuals who were shot is still in critical condition. 2 others are in stable condition. And we can also tell you from our conversation with the man we just introduced you to that he does believe that it's not surprising that this happened in this specific parking lot. We'll tell you more about that tonight at 11. Reporting live in Parks Township, Armstrong County, Ricky Sayer, KDK TV News.
Wow. 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 Salute to everybody out there, man. Hit the like button, man. We're going to get into it, man. We're gonna get into it. We're just warming to show up. Jesus Christ. I tell you, give me a city, man. Oh, yeah, give me a city. Give me a city. Give me a city, man. We'll go around the country, man. It's the end of the weekend. We go around the country. We may go to your city if you comment fast enough. Salute to Ray Wall, man. Ray Wall is in the building. I was shocked the shooter was a mulatto. Do blacks have to claim him? You claim he can claim, man. He a black. White people ain't gonna let you get off the hook for that one. But in prison he gonna be black too, because the racial politics in prison, he black. You know what I mean? He going straight to people to prison. That motherfucker gonna be in prison for the rest of his life. God damn, bro. A man said we got Charlotte, Mobile, Alabama. We'll do Alabama, man. Alabama been Alabama always gonna do you right. A lot of black folk down there in Alabama. Let's go. Yeah, quiet weekend in Alabama, apparently. Well, this part of Alabama, not the whole Alabama, but wow.
Mobile police investigating a shooting in the Maryville community. Investigators say it happened just before 11:30 this morning on Holmes Drive. When officers arrived to the scene, they found a man with multiple severe and possibly life-threatening gunshot wounds. The victim was taken to the hospital. No other details have been released. This remains an active investigation.
Okay. Okay.
The Escambia County, Florida Sheriff's Office says one person is dead, 2 are wounded following a shooting. They say deputies responded to 850 Event Center, which is located at 2148 Delano Street in Pensacola, or in Escambia County, Florida. Officials say when they arrived at the scene, they found a man in the parking lot with several gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead. They say witnesses say a fight happened between the man who was killed and other unknown people before gunshots erupted. Authorities also say a woman was struck by a bullet, taken to the hospital and released. A third victim, they say, suffered a gunshot wound to the chest, taken to the hospital, but survived. Now, sheriff's officials in Escambia County have not released an identity. There are no known suspects right now.
Wow. Just a big ass shooting and nothing. We don't know nothing. That's fine. Wow. Yeah, look at this white guy, man. We're going to get you white people on the board, man. Gladys, you're not getting away scot-free tonight, man.
In other news tonight, police say he romanced women across the country, stole their money, and then vanished.
Yeah, tonight the man called the TikTok trickster is behind bars in Baldwin County. Investigators say more victims are coming forward.
Our Ashley Mitchell has the very latest.
I don't think we ever would have found him without the publicity that we got on the media.
Spanish Fort police hope this marks the end of an era. The man they've dubbed the TikTok trickster, Brenton Fillers, is behind bars in Baldwin County, but investigators say it took years to get there. Back in 2023, police say Fillers told a Spanish Fort woman he'd fix her car, but she never saw it again. From there, police say he moved from...
He said he'd fix her car, but she never saw it again. Is this white privilege? Is this white privilege, man? A guy who looked like this can be a Romeo online, man. Is that white privilege?
Police say Fillers told a Spanish Fort woman he'd fix her car, but she never saw it again. From there, police say he moved from state to state, romancing women, convincing them to hand over money and property, and evading arrest.
He stayed in Texas awaiting a trial over there. The case fell apart, unfortunately. He got out before we could get him. And so he was out on the run again for a year and a half or so. He even reached out to me when he was on the run, talking about how he was innocent and I was slandering his name. He's never done anything in his life. And I said, well, come talk to me about it. He said he would. He never came. And so luckily, again, we had a victim that started feeling something wasn't right. They started doing their research, saw all the news stories. He was in North Carolina. He was outside our jurisdiction for extradition. We had to change it. We got it changed. We had the local police department get him back in January. And it's been a process since. It's been 3 months that we've been working to try to get him down here.
Daphne Police Chief Brian Goldsby says Fillers is also accused of stealing $2,000 and a debit card from a West Virginia woman while they were staying at a Daphne hotel. This before he allegedly stole the Spanish Fort woman's car. He now faces 4 felony charges. This week, this auto theft, theft of property third, and 2 counts of fraudulent use of a credit card. This week, a judge raised Fillers' bond from $7,500 to $25,000 cash after Chief Barber appealed to the court.
Well, we're worried about him being as good as he is, that he's talking to people. Somebody might make his bond.
Investigators say this case isn't isolated. They believe Fillers used dozens of aliases and social media accounts to target women in several states. In fact, Fox 10 has spoken to some of those alleged victims. One Indiana woman told Fox 10 he convinced her to send more than $30,000 for fake cancer treatments. A Missouri woman shared a similar story, saying he took $1,500 and disappeared. Police say more victims continue to come forward.
Every time a story airs, we always seem to get somebody that reaches out to us, and I would say the same thing. Reach out to us. He is a good example of a system that has not done what it needed to do.
In Baldwin County, Ashlyn Mitchell, Fox 10 News.
Court records show prosecutors are now pushing to raise Fillers' bond even more and require a GPS ankle monitor if he's released. A hearing is set for May 5th.
Washington is sadly ranked #1 for retail crime in the country, according to Forbes. And in many cases, store employees are put in danger, harassed, and threatened. There are countless examples of thieves at work that never make the news, but outlandish ones do. In this case, $93,000 worth of merchandise was stolen from a Louis Vuitton in Bellevue. One Democrat lawmaker pushed but failed to get funding this legislative session for more prosecutors and resources to tackle the public safety menace.
These are organized crime, high-end amounts.
Representative Marie Levitt tried to get $500,000 to restart a pilot program this year. She says the same program made significant progress in 3 counties in 2025. And one reason is the ability to hire dedicated prosecutors.
King County, it really made a huge dent.
In the first half of 2025, the King County Prosecutor's Office filed 142 retail felony theft cases, which was 2.5 times more than the average load. But this year, funding to restart the program was slashed with the stroke of Governor Ferguson's pen.
Consequently, we have limited ability to absorb additional work for expenses that are not funded in the budget. That is why I vetoed a few programs.
The governor saying the state could not afford the dollars due to a budget shortfall.
We tried to rally the troops, if you will, to get the governor to reconsider Unfortunately, all of that seemed to be for naught.
Ferguson's office telling Fox 13 that when he was Attorney General, he created the first of its kind organized retail crime task force and a separate unit that filed 29 prosecutions since 2023. Still, Representative Levitt says $500,000 to combat retail theft was small potatoes in a nearly $80 billion budget.
This is $500,000 that was already embedded in the budget.
Even if you don't own or work for retail, there are tangible impacts to society as a whole. The Washington Retail Association says companies in 2021 lost about $2.7 billion in stolen merchandise that year, which means the government missed out on around $600 million in tax revenue. And for cities like Bellevue, retail theft is their #1 reported crime.
We have a zero tolerance with shoplifting, meaning that when we arrest you for shoplifting, you go to jail.
That zero tolerance reputation, keeping some thieves away, according to Captain Shelby Shearer. The city saw a 19% dip in cases from 2024 to 2025. And during last year's holiday period, the majority of thieves were captured when officers were called.
When you call 911 during that time period, last year, 69% of those 911 calls ended up in arrests. So we're fairly successful in catching these people and then ultimately sending them to jail.
Even if officers do their part, the question remains, will there be meaningful accountability in the end if courts are backlogged and lacking resources?
Representative Levitt says a small investment in the pilot proved to be highly effective, and next session she plans to try to overturn the governor's veto.
Wow. White folk, man, listen. White folk, I'm not letting you off the hook tonight.
Federal prosecutors say a Milwaukee area landlord rented his properties to drug dealers in exchange for kickbacks. And as Bill Misson reports, tipping off tenants to law enforcement. Hey, Bill.
Yeah, hey there, Ben. Just want to kind of detail some of this as this investigation started last year, and starting last year, I should say, at least 4 properties were raided by investigators uncovering cash, guns, and drugs. But the scope and scale of the investigation is much, much larger. It involves Homeland Security, DEA, the state DOJ, West Dallas Police, and other local law enforcement. And at the center of it all, prosecutors say, was local landlord Samuel Stair. You may have seen Sam Stair on Fox 6's airwaves before. He owns more than 150 rental properties through his S2 real estate company, mostly on the city's south side and suburbs. Now, prosecutors say Stair intentionally sought out renting to drug traffickers for using those properties as stash houses and trap houses. Stash houses storing the...
Wow. Wow, who would have thought this guy? I know all the people in the town were fooled. Like, yeah, what? He's doing what? Bob, the nice guy who's always on the news. They're always doing a special on him because he's such a great guy. He's been renting properties to drug dealers so they can use it as stash houses. You think you know somebody. Hit the like button, everybody. Everybody smash that like button, man. Smiggity smash it. Smash it now.
Drugs trap houses selling the drugs, alleging that it guaranteed him a steadier income than he would get otherwise from regular renters. Now, prosecutors say in some instances, the traffickers would manage rental units, find drug addicts to rent to, and if the addicted renters couldn't pay rent, drugs would be withheld upon payment. In some cases, prosecutors say money would then be put into bank accounts for Stair's legitimate business. Now, according to court filings, prosecutors say by January of this year, here's a map of just some of the properties that were raided as a part of this starting last year. Now, as of January this year, though, here's an idea of what prosecutors say was the scope of this investigation. They say nearly $225,000 as of January of this year, which made up nearly a quarter of rental payments, came from drug-associated properties. Now, this sweeping investigation involved the use of confidential informants, undercover agents, and wiretaps. And in one instance, prosecutors say Stair tipped off renters of a West Dallas bar that Stair owned the property of. He tipped the renters off to that police were investigating drug activity at that bar. But at the time, the feds were up on wiretaps showing that contact that Stair was having with individuals associated with that property in near real time. Now, in total, in this case, 18 people are charged in connection with this drug conspiracy as part of the larger case, but more charges could be on the way, as I've seen records unsealed recently detailing charges for lower level members of 3 drug trafficking organizations that prosecutors say were part of this scheme involving the Milwaukee landlord.
Bill Miston reporting for us. Thanks, Bill.
I tell you, man. I tell you, I'll be, man. I'll be.
Our top story tonight, a convicted murderer is finally learning his fate today after refusing to appear for his own sentencing late last week.
David Wright was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Mariah Samuels. It was an emotional sentencing for Samuels' grieving family today. And our Mary McGuire joins us from outside the courthouse. So, Mary, quite a different scene from the one that we saw on Friday.
It certainly was today. David Wright entered the courtroom voluntarily without wearing any shackles, a very different scene than what played out last week, where his seat in court remained empty. Monday marked take 2 for the sentencing of David Wright, convicted of first-degree premeditated murder for the killing of Mariah Samuels. He was supposed to be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole on Friday, but refused to leave his jail cell. The judge deciding not to issue a drag order to force him to come, instead opting to reschedule the sentencing.
Because no baby boys will never get to hug their mother again. Mariah's dad will never get to say goodnight, baby girl, I love you again. Her mother will never get to speak scriptures to her again.
Family members and friends made victim impact statements today in court, speaking of their memories of Mariah, a proud mother of 2 boys who loved animals. Some also had words for the judge's decision to reschedule the sentencing instead of forcing Wright to come to court.
I thought to myself, the same way he dragged my sister out of her vehicle after he wounded her body with 21 shots. How come you couldn't drag him up here?
We also heard from Wright himself.
I think about Mariah still every day. And even though I know it might not be accepted, I apologize for my actions.
His words falling short for Mariah's family.
He said more than enough on the stand. He lied on the stand, walked off of the stand, just complete disruptive behavior throughout the entire trial. I never want to hear his voice again.
Now, Wright was also ordered to pay $7,500 in restitution. Reporting live in Minneapolis tonight, Mary McGuire, Fox 9.
All right. Thank you, Mary.
Neighborhood in Queens shocked by a triple stabbing.
It all started when a French bulldog urinated on a neighbor's lawn, sparking a shouting match that ended with 3 people slashed.
Fox 9's Linda Schmidt is in Laurelton with this one. Linda?
Yeah, first of all, good evening to both of you. And I can tell you this, today started out as a nice, quiet day in this neighborhood, but it quickly turned chaotic. It involves the households of 2 homes here. This house and then the other one right over here. And there is surveillance video that shows the whole thing. Go ahead, take a look at this. This is the first surveillance video. What this shows is that a man walking his dog out of his home. And then he lets the dog urinate on the grass in front of his neighbor's home. Now, in just a moment, the man's female partner comes out of the house, and then she joins him there while the dog is urinating. Well, they're neighbors, 2 men, come out of their home. They walk past the couple. They have some words with the couple, and then the two
Holy
men
shit.
both.
Holy shit. Whoa. That was a this has been going on for a while, man. Listen. Until you own a house, until you get a house, you can't understand why these dudes did that. Let's take it back. Let's run it back. Let's run it back.
Video that shows the whole thing. Go ahead, take a look at this. This is the first surveillance video. What this shows is that a man walking his dog out of his home. And then he lets...
he knows because he's looking towards the house. He knows that these people don't want his dog pissing on in front of their house. Because there's been something. He's looking at the house to see if they're going to come out. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but let me tell you this. The Negro mind, right? If they done already said something to this guy and he don't like the way they said it, or he feel like, what the fuck y'all gonna do if I don't? If his dog, he won't intentionally let his dog piss in front of their house. But if the dog is about to piss there, he gonna feel like a bitch if he stops the dog from pissing right there. You understand what I'm saying? If the dog was already organically gonna stop there because it's the neighbor, like it's right in front of it. The dog don't know that that's not their house. The dog will just think this is just, part of the walk, right? It's up to the owner to make that decision. It's up to the human the human got to be the human has to be the human. The dog don't know, like, that they had a talk about, hey, please don't let your dog piss in front of our yard. You know what I mean? Or your dog pooped in front of our yard and you didn't get it up. And, you know what I mean? We got an issue now. Or there's some long-standing thing. Dog don't know nothing about that. But a nigga, it's just like something about being told what to do. Something about being told, given an ultimatum by another black man. We don't like that, man. We don't like that, man. We don't like being given ultimatums. So when his dog pissed, when his dog stopped to piss in front of their house, he should have yanked it by the chain and told it to come on and, walk down and piss somewhere else. That's what he should have did. But he didn't do that because he got pride. Because you can tell this is the way this escalated. This has been an ongoing issue.
Today started out as a nice, quiet day in this neighborhood, but it quickly turned chaotic. It involves the households of two homes here. This house and then the other one right over here. And there is surveillance video that shows the whole thing. Go ahead, take a look at this. This is the first surveillance video. What this shows is that a man walking his dog out of his home. And then he lets the dog urinate on the grass in front of his neighbor's home. Now, in just a moment, the man's female partner comes out of the house and then she joins him there while the dog is urinating. Well, they're neighbors, two men, come out of their home. They walk past the couple. They have some words with the couple. And then the two men both urinate on the couple's lawn. One of them in one spot, one of them in another. After that, they turn around and once again, they have words with the couple. The woman then smacks the man wearing the red shorts on his back. He turns to swing at her, and then there is an all-out brawl between the four of them. Now, police say the 34-year-old man who was upset about the dog urinating in his yard stabbed the couple. The woman, who is 39 years old, was stabbed in the hand.
Hold on, what?
Man on his back. He turns to swing at her, and then there is an all-out brawl between the four of them. Now, police say the 34-year-old man who was upset about the dog urinating in his yard stabbed the couple. The woman, who is 39 years old, was stabbed in the hand. The man, who is also 39, was stabbed in the back. And then the suspect's father was also stabbed. He was stabbed in the hand while trying to intervene. Tonight, the suspect...
Wow. Are these guys gay? That's what I want to ask you guys. These two guys live together, right? Are they gay? Hold on. I'm trying to figure out, are they gay? They come out the house with one with a wife beater, one with no shirt. I don't know. Let me see.
Ask the couple. They have some words with the couple, and then the two men both urinate on the couple's lawn. One of them in one spot, one of them in another. After that, they turn around, and once again, they have words with the couple. The woman then smacks the man wearing the red shorts on his back. He turns to swing at her, and then there is an all-out brawl between the four of them. Now, police say the 34-year-old man who was upset about the dog urinating in his yard stabbed the couple. The woman, who is 39 years old, was stabbed in the hand. The man, who is also 39, was stabbed in the back. And then the suspect's father was also stabbed. He was stabbed in the hand while trying to intervene. Tonight, the suspect is in custody and the knife has been recovered. But I want you to go ahead, take a look at this video here. I hope you can see it at this point. There are also two signs in the man's yard that show a dog and the words that say, "Please be respectful." In other words, don't allow your dog to go to the bathroom in my yard. In the meantime, neighbors out here are just stunned.
Very much surprised. What I heard, I can't believe it.
It was chaotic. People everywhere. Police were everywhere. EMS was still bringing ambulances in. Like I said, I saw a person being brought out on a stretcher. I saw one person being brought on a stretcher, but like I said,
that's the guy that was stabbed in the back.
About 5 ambulances out here and about 6 police cars.
All right, all three of them taken to Jacoby Medical Center. Again, they were stabbed. All of their injuries are not life-threatening, but it all started with a dog urinating in somebody's yard.
Yeah, but it escalated. The woman escalated it. Because after these two dudes pissed, obviously the man, he didn't say anything after these two dudes pissed in their yard in retaliation for their dog pissing on their yard.
Both urinate.
Look, they're walking
on the couple's lawn.
They're walking back to their house. And then she swings at him from behind.
One of them in one spot, one of them in another.
Yeah, she escalated it, but yeah, whatever, man. That's a very interesting story, man. Very, very interesting. Salute to everybody out there, man. Take the challenge bright and early. Take the challenge. Get on the board. Sponsor the programming. We need some people to hit that PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Sponsor this programming, man. We're gonna take you into the week. Holy smoke! We're gonna take you into the week with all the stories that you need to know about that are going on in America that people don't know about, man. That's a very interesting story. I don't think you'll see that story anywhere unless it goes viral. Unless it goes viral on like Instagram or something. Unless that goes viral on Instagram, I don't think you'll see that on any other YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure you won't. We only found that going deep. Pause. Let's see. Silent type shit. 94. Let's go to warfare. Here goes the bodega worker that was killed. We covered this earlier, but they're showing this picture now.
Great sense of loss tonight in the East Village after a gunman shot and killed a beloved deli worker last night outside the business his family owns.
That's right. Police believe it stemmed from an argument after the suspect refused to pay for his order. Now, regular customers are heartbroken, remembering a man who knew them by name and made them feel like family.
Here's Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon.
He was so great.
Regulars here are devastated about the loss of Abdul Salah, whose family owns Sal's Deli, saying he just connected with his customers.
The best coffee ever. He knew exactly how I took it. Super cheap too, which is great because I could tip him more. And when I would travel for work, he'd come to me and say, "Where have you been? How are you?"
Last night, video obtained by Eyewitness News shows Abdul's brother trying desperately to get a gunman away from him just outside the deli on Avenue B. An argument believed to be over the man not paying for his order had spilled onto the sidewalk, where Abdul was shot in the stomach.
What I heard was a pop, pop, pop. What I saw was my friend dying on the corner.
I don't understand what could have happened because they were never rude. They were never confrontational with anyone. You know what I mean? They were just like, everyone knew them.
And the Salah family knew everyone, like the Montañez Lugo family, even their dog.
He was like, "Oh, let me see your dog because I want to show my daughter." So he FaceTimed his daughter and showed her my dog on the FaceTime just before this happened, like half an hour before.
We need to install panic buttons in every small bodega.
United Bodegas of America says this deli didn't have a panic button. It's unclear if one could have alerted police before this happened, but making the case for panic buttons was exactly why.
He probably shouldn't have gone outside. He probably you don't follow suspects outside.
Abdul Salah himself spoke with Eyewitness News a year ago, saying he worried about violence against bodega workers he'd seen on social media.
People got shot, killed. Sometimes you got robbed, and the police never responds quick.
Tonight, the organization is wondering if the person who shot Abdul Salah was someone who shouldn't have been on the street.
When you get away with something over and over and over again, you're going to commit a bigger crime every time. And we need to punish these people. We can't allow them to get away with it.
Walking into a bodega with a gun, you're sending a message out to the community, and we really need to get in front of this and figure out what we can do collectively to reduce gun violence.
The person who walked into this bodega with a gun last night is believed to be in the hospital now with a gunshot wound himself after one of his bullets ricocheted and struck him. But police have not charged anyone, and United Bodegas of America says if the person who did this is still out there, they're offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. In the East Village, Sonia Rincon, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Continuing coverage now 2 years after 2 people were shot and killed at a vigil in Crum Park. Tonight, the man who took an Alford plea in the shooting was sentenced.
He didn't care that he could have killed 100 people. It didn't change his mind.
20-year-old Tyrese Turner was sentenced to 29 years to life. It is
Jesus Christ. 29 years to life. And they try to look so cool, man. Listen, I wonder what would it, I wonder what's the difference in prison. Don't get me wrong. I know that you don't want to be sobbing in court. I guess. I don't know, but who knows? How do you know that? Like, how do we know that if you show remorse during your sentencing or you show remorse during your trial that you're going to be treated poorly when you get to prison? How do we know that? But this dude, he's acting like, he just found out his favorite team traded a 6th-round pick for 2 6th-round picks in next year's draft. That's about how much he cared about getting a 29-year to life sentence.
Fine.
20-year-old Tyrese Turner was sentenced to 29 years to life. It is a story we've been covering since it happened.
Police say Turner shot into a group at a vigil at Crum Park, killing 2 people, 18-year-old Jaquan Kimbrough and 29-year-old Lonnie Johnston. 10 TV's Carla Rogner has more from court.
10 TV has covered Tyrese Turner's criminal history for years. He was first arrested when he was 12 years old and racked up more than 40 cases against him in the juvenile justice system. Prosecutors today said that he should never rejoin society.
He knew what he was going there to do, and he knew it wasn't right.
Family members did not want us to show their faces, but they had strong words to share with Tyrese Turner.
Irresponsible and stupid and put other people's life at risk.
You're a menace to society, a silly kid with no hope for a future, a disappointment to the Black community and to your family.
29-year-old Lonnie Johnston and 18-year-old Jaquan Kimbrough were gathered at Crum Park for a vigil for 18-year-old Demaya Cummerlander, who'd been shot and killed. Her uncle is currently serving a prison sentence for the death of Tyrese Turner's mother. As the group gathered for the vigil,
Hold the fuck up, man. A nigga web. This is a nigga web of wow, what a Negro web. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first these Negroes practice to deceive.
Jaquan Kimbrough were gathered at Crum Park for a vigil for 18-year-old Demaya Cummerlander, who'd been shot.
Okay, so these two niggas, this is how the story started. This is where the dude who's on trial killed both these guys. Okay. At a vigil for another girl who had been murdered.
Jaquan Kimbrough were gathered at Crum Park for a vigil for 18-year-old Demaya Cummerlander, who'd been shot and killed. Her uncle is currently serving a prison sentence for the death of Tyrese Turner's mother.
So this girl who the vigil was for, okay, I got it. The vigil was for this girl. She died. We don't know. She shot, right? Her uncle is in prison now for killing this dude's mom. So this dude probably shot up her vigil in retaliation for the guy, for her uncle killing his mom. Oh, man. Holy shit.
At risk. You're a menace to society, a silly kid with no hope for a future, a disappointment to the Black community and to your family.
29-year-old Lonnie Johnston and 18-year-old Jaquan Kimbrough were gathered at Crum Park for a vigil for 18-year-old Demaya Cummerlander, who'd been shot and killed. Her uncle is currently serving a prison sentence for the death of Tyrese Turner's mother. As the group gathered for the vigil, prosecutors say Turner pulled up and began firing into the group. Turner entered an Alford plea in the crimes, meaning he pleaded guilty but maintains his innocence. He shared a short statement in court.
I just want to say I send my condolences to both families. I know this got to be a hard time for y'all, so I hope God can bless y'all's hearts and conscience with peace.
State of Ohio versus LaDavia Fortner.
The driver was also sentenced today. 32-year-old LaDavia Fortner told police she drove Tyrese Turner and 2 others to the vigil, where they shot and killed the 2 men, then drove away. Fortner will spend the next 4 to 6 years in prison. Police.
She only got 4 to 6 years. You know, she ratted. You know, she told everything. You know, she got debriefed like she was in fucking Scientology and shit. She told everything. So she got 4 to 6 years for driving them there to kill those guys.
4 to 6 years in prison. Police never arrested the other 2 people they say were in that car that night. Reporting at the courthouse, Carla Rogner, 10 TV News.
Wow. He didn't give him his buddies. That was some hot Negro fuckery right there, boy. Woo. What the fuck? What in goddamn Dukes of Hazzard is this shit?
NBC4 is continuing our in-depth coverage of the Roden family massacre. On this day, 10 years ago, 8 people were found murdered in Pike County. They were shot, killed execution style as they slept.
It was a crime that rocked Ohio, and NBC4's Delaney Ruth has been looking through our archives and speaking with key figures in the investigation.
And today she's telling us how authorities found the killers. And Delaney, I remember this. What a case.
Oh, I mean, it was huge. So 7 members of the Roden family and the fiance of one of the Rodens, they were all found dead on the morning of April 22nd, 2016. It took more than 2.5 years for investigators to gather the evidence needed to arrest 4 suspects, all from one family, Billy, Angela, George, and Jake Wagner.
This is a case too, due to the complexity too, it's nothing you're going to solve in 30 days or anything like that.
In November 2018, Governor Mike DeWine, who was Ohio's attorney general at the time, announced that 4 members of the Wagner family had been arrested for the 8 homicides. Jake Wagner had fathered a daughter with victim Hannah Roden, and DeWine says the murders were committed because of a custody dispute over that child. The governor talked with me about that motive.
But certainly no one...
He killed 8 people over a custody dispute. Jesus Christ.
Of the Wagner family have been arrested for the 8 homicides. Mike DeWine, who was Ohio's attorney general at the time, announced that 4 members of the Wagner family had been arrested for the 8 homicides. Jake Wagner had fathered a daughter with victim Hannah Roden, and DeWine says the murders were committed because of a custody dispute over that child. The governor talked with me about that motive.
But certainly no one early on thought that these murders, these executions were committed over the custody of a child. Nobody would have ever thought that. It's a bizarre case with bizarre motives.
In the 2 years after the murders, investigators with the Ohio BCI worked tirelessly. DeWine says the case was solved with a combination of good old-fashioned police work and new technology. At the crime scenes, investigators found footprints, and in the Wagner's home, they found the evidence needed to connect the suspects to those prints.
One example would be the receipt from Walmart for shoes. This was literally a needle in a haystack, and we found the needle. Then you can go right back to Walmart. You can get the camera. You can get the video. You can see who was, walking in and out. You can trace it.
Then in April 2021, another break in the case.
I am guilty, Your Honor.
Jake Wagner pleaded guilty to all 8 murders. His mother, Angela, followed suit a few months later, pleading guilty to 14 charges, but not to any murder charges she faced.
Jake was first in April of 2021. He pled guilty and led us to some new evidence, additional evidence that we had been looking for but had yet discovered. And then Angela pled in September of 2021. And both of them agreed to testify against either of the remaining defendants.
Jake's father, Billy, and brother George kept their not guilty pleas. George Wagner IV went to trial first in September 2022, maintaining he had no role in the killings. But when they took the stand at his trial, both Jake and Angela Wagner testified that George helped them plan and cover up the murders, though Jake did say only he and his father, Billy, fired the shots.
Anna Mae responds, "I won't sign papers ever. They'll have to kill me first." Just over 4 months later, Hannah Mae and 7 members of her family are dead.
Special prosecutor Angie Canepa says Jake and Angela's plea deals helped the case in George's trial. And in November 2022,
we, the jury, find beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant, George Washington Wagner IV, is guilty of aggravated murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment.
George Wagner was found guilty of all 22 counts he faced, including the 8 for murder.
I was always convinced that we could find who did it and get a conviction. It took much longer than I'm sure anyone wanted to see, but these are difficult cases, and you should never give up on a case.
Well, George Wagner was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in December 2022. Jake will spend life in prison with a chance of parole after 32 years, and Angela was sentenced to 30 years behind bars. Now, Billy Wagner has not yet gone to trial almost 8 years.
The woman always gets the lightest sentence, always.
after he was arrested. Tomorrow we'll tell you why his case is held up in court.
Thanks for watching. For more NBC4, download the NBC4 streaming app. You'll get free 24/7 local programming streamed straight to your living room.
Wow.
Just search NBC4 Columbus on your Apple TV, Amazon Fire.
8 people killed 8 people in their sleep over some custody battle. That shit is insane. But once it's done, it's done. Like, you can't even really, that's the crazy part about it. Like, if you kill 8 people in their sleep and then you regret it, you already killed them, they're done. That shit is crazy, man. RIP to those people, man. Oh yeah, somebody was telling me about this the other day. Louisville, Breonnaville, man. We gotta get back to Breonnaville, man.
But first,
Shout out to my man T.R. McCoy, man. He said, shout out to Akron Nation, man. T.R. McCoy is in the building, man. Salute the 45 revolver. That's right, man. 45 revolver, keeping one up in the chamber. This a doozy right here, man. Salute to you, man. That's what I like to see, man. Go big. Go big, man. We're going to put something on. I'm going to drop the link in a minute, man.
breaking news, another night of chaos at Festiville. This is video of police right now at the Big Four Lawn earlier tonight.
Those officers just left a few moments ago. Metro Safe says officers are in the area for crowd control. And our team saw hundreds of teenagers in the area. And this is what it looked like. You can see crowds of teens and more than a dozen LMPD cruisers.
Uh-oh.
LMPD's
It's always them. Like, yo, man, black people just, oh, God, we got such a bad reputation, man. Nobody likes us, man.
You can see crowds of teens and more than a dozen LMPD cruisers. LMPD's air unit was also in the area. Officers were ordering those teenagers to leave, and we saw them head toward downtown. And all of this chaos is happening while we're learning more about what happened at Festiville last night.
Now, police say large groups of juveniles were fighting inside the event. The disorder then spilled into downtown streets. Our Joyce O'Geary is here with more. Joyce?
Alexis Norman, there was a large crowd of teens among the crowd today, and Festival shut down early tonight when Gospel Fest wrapped up at 9. Organizers say the festival's attendance policy remains in effect, requiring anyone 18 and under to be accompanied by an adult.
That's smart. That's smart. That's hella smart. That way you don't have any violence. You may have a, call police. Come get these niggas out of here. Hey, there's some teens down here. Police. Very smart, man. You niggas got to be accompanied by an adult, man. We need somebody down here with you that can be responsible for your actions. Yep. I don't know why everywhere doesn't do this. Anywhere, like every single place, whatever the place is, whatever the business is, needs to have this policy. You know what I mean? Everywhere needs to have this policy. No nigga children allowed unless they're with their nigga parent.
We had some groups of juveniles who were just creating disturbances throughout the venue, meaning they get together and then they run throughout the venue, just creating chaos, impacting other people's experience.
Yeah, impacting other people's experience. That's a great way to frame it. Yeah, negatively impacting other people's experience. Intentionally. Oh, people act like people act like black teens are scary. People see black teens and they automatically get scared. Or people call our kids thugs. people, they say black children look older than other children. People always doing this to black children and that to black children. No, motherfucker. Your little children enjoy making people feel uncomfortable. They enjoy intimidating people. They enjoy clowning and, roasting random people that they don't know. If they see you as not a threat, they're liable to do anything to you. Like anything. If you're sharing a space with some fucking 17s and they just deem you to be like a square or a non-playable character in their little game they got going on, man, those kids will do anything to you. Anything.
Were reportedly fighting inside a festival Saturday night. Police say the situation escalated when hundreds of teens left the event when it got shut down early and moved into downtown streets where the disorder continued with more fighting and disruptive behavior. Due to the size of the crowd and the level of chaos, additional officers were called in to restore order. Pivot to Peace Louisville, the city's community violence reduction program, also stepped in to help to de-escalate the situation.
There was some conflicts, but in partnership with Festiville, the Office of Violence Prevention, Goodwill, LMPD, we were able to diffuse a lot of situations, but ultimately the event wound up closing.
KDF officials say changes are now being made.
If you're an adult with more than 3 teenagers, you're not going to be able to get in. And if you're trying to wear a mask in and it's not for medical reasons, you also will not be able to get into the venue.
While we were interviewing festival goers about the incident.
It's not surprising, but it is upsetting because I did think about coming today. Sorry. You're okay.
The chaos hit close. At one point, kids took off running as pepper spray filled the air. It reached our crew. I got it in my eyes and couldn't see for several minutes. And my photographer, Lance Price, was also hit in the face. Some say incidents like this impacts the city's image.
It's just a shame because the Kentucky Derby Festival puts on such a wonderful event for all ages, for youth and teens and adults. So for them to be fighting and having to close down early.
It didn't necessarily change whether we were going to come, but it's always unfortunate, and just hopefully things go good and everybody has a good time.
KDF officials say this can affect the overall success of the festival going forward.
It impacts them financially, it impacts the festival in the long run as well. And everything that we do goes back into producing our festival for the next year. And we want to be able to keep doing this year after year.
And we spoke with KDF officials before tonight's incident, but they told us that they're continuing to monitor the situation and will determine if they need to close early throughout this week. Live in the studio, Joyce O'Geary.
Let's just say this. If you're having black people, if black people are scheduled to come, especially black teens, you got to close it early. Got to have a curfew, close it early. That way when one of them balks about not being let in and tries to call you racist, just simply call the police because you have a curfew. Let's see. I want to show you this guy. This was an interaction a rapper had today. A rapper had this interaction today. It's going viral. This is Jim Jones. He's a rapper from Harlem, New York. Jim Jones, rapper from Harlem. He's a pretty big rapper, man. I mean, he had a, everybody knows who he is. He's not like some, guy that's just up and coming or something. Everyone knows who he is.
I'm in Lowe's. This manager decided to take upon himself to tell me what I've done wrong. So tell the people that. You're mad that I found these locks for $78 because y'all put the wrong price. Yo, put the wrong price. You don't want to look at me now? You just had a lot to say. You don't have nothing to say? You're mad.
So he found these locks somewhere. I don't know. But I did work at a home improvement store for years. And if there's just because a product is sitting somewhere underneath a price, that does not mean that that's your price. Now, if there's a tag on the product that says it's a price, that could be the price. Usually you just scan the SKU. Usually the product doesn't have a price on it. You scan the barcode, but the price will be on a tag on the shelf, a price tag on the shelf above the products, right? The price won't usually be on the product, but that doesn't mean that, because like somebody could put something back, somebody could pick something up and then not want to put it back where they found it and just put it back anywhere on another shelf. Like, for instance, if I pick up a drill, right? And the drill is, let's just say it's a nice drill, $200 drill. And I get to the front and I don't have enough money. So instead of taking it all the way back, I just put it on the first shelf that I see and leave the store, right? And on that shelf, it say, let's just say they're selling screws. And a bag of screws is like $2, right? But I just put the drill that I couldn't afford on that shelf. Later on, if you come by and you looking for some screws and you see that drill sitting right there on the shelf with the screws under $2, you can't take that fucking drill up to the fucking customer service desk and be like, yo, I want to pay $2 for this drill. I just got it off the shelf. The shelf said $2 above the drill. You can't fucking do that. Press 1. That's ridiculous. You can't fucking do that. That's not how it works. They're going to scan the barcode. They're not going to let you be like, yeah, I found this on the shelf underneath the sign that said $2. I want to pay $2 for this drill. Let's see this, man. Let's see.
I'm in Lowe's. This manager decided to take upon himself to tell me what I've done wrong. So tell the people that you're mad that I found these locks for $78 because y'all put the wrong price. Y'all put the wrong price. You don't want to look at me now? You just had a lot to say. You don't have nothing to say? You're mad that I found. What's up, dog? How you feeling? They had the price under it. And we know that all stores, when you make a mistake and keep the items under the price, they have to honor it. You came over here while I was having a conversation with a nice black young lady and proceeded to say, oh, if we place our items anywhere, then that's the price, right? That's how you treat a customer at Lowe's? Are you the manager? You said you're the manager, right?
So he brings up race. He brings up the fact that he was talking to a black associate. It doesn't matter if you were speaking to a black associate. That doesn't matter. Like, the manager came up and made the decision. It doesn't matter what the race of the associate you went initially and said, hey, I want these I want these locks for the price of the shelf that I found them under. It doesn't matter. The manager came up and made a decision. Obviously for a reason.
Under the price, they have to honor it. You came over here while I was having a conversation with a nice black young lady and proceeded to say, oh, if we place our items anywhere, then that's the price, right? That's how you treat a customer at Lowe's? Are you the manager? You said you're the manager, right? So instead of de-escalating the situation, you added fuel to the fire. You didn't come over here with customer service. You came over here with bad service. Huh? Why? Because I'm a black man trying to do good things? Or what was it? Because I was talking to a black lady.
This nigga's my age. I want you to think about it. This nigga's my age with this type of logic. And the manager looked like he about 28. Just a young manager. He like 28, 30 years old. He looked like he young. It's exhausting dealing with niggas, man. This nigga's a millionaire. This nigga, the nigga he's talking to is a literal million. Let me see what Jim Jones' net worth is. Let me see what Jim Jones' net worth. $10 million. So yeah, he got a couple millions, man. He got a couple millions, man. And he and Lowe's arguing over this shit, man. Which will make niggas think that he might not got it. He might have fucked his money up.
You came over here while I was having a conversation with a nice black young lady and proceeded to say, oh, if we place our items anywhere, then that's the price, right? That's how you treat a customer at Lowe's? Are you the manager? You said you're the manager, right? So instead of de-escalating the situation, you added fuel to the fire. You didn't come over here with customer service. You came over here with bad service. Huh? Why? Because I'm a black man trying to do good things? Or what was it? Because I was talking to a...
Yeah, he said, this guy was like, yo, there goes a black guy doing good things. I'm gonna go fuck with him. That's gonna work out great for me, you know? One of the safest things I can do as a white man with a job is fuck with a black guy who's doing good things for no reason.
Black lady, huh? You have nothing to say? Well, this is going right to Lowe's. Right to Lowe's. I hope that you got your job right. What's up, brother? How you feeling? What's up, bro? How you feeling? They trying to kick me out because they made the wrong price on their stuff. Go ask them.
So that's the cops show up. They've already been called. The dispatch, the Lowe's called the dispatcher, right? Told the dispatcher the situation. The dispatcher said, "Do we have any cops in the area of Lowe's?" These cops got on the walkie-talkie, said, "Yeah, we're 2 blocks from the Lowe's." And the dispatcher was like, "Yeah, we need you to go to Lowe's. There's a dispute at the there's an angry customer at the customer service desk." So these 2 guys are just showing up. It's not like, oh, let's ride around and fuck with black people all day. These cops just responded to the dispatcher. Press 1. They just responded to the dispatcher. Niggas don't understand the way the world works. Niggas do not understand. I might have to play Reverend Manning today, man. I might have to play a Reverend Manning clip, man. Something's wrong with his mind, man. He doesn't understand how the world works. He doesn't understand the world. He doesn't understand the world. Let's go ahead and drop this link, man. He doesn't understand the way the world works. The world doesn't work in black and white and things like that. Once you start getting loud, the manager is going to call the cops. Why didn't they call it on a white person? You don't know because you weren't there. Like, You don't know, like black people assume that the cops only get called on them, or if a white person did it, they wouldn't have called the cops. Nigga, you listen. The cops just showed up because they were called. They don't know what the fuck is going on.
Well, this is going right to Lowe's. Right to Lowe's. I hope that you got your job right. What's up, brother? How you feeling? What's up, bro? How you feeling? They trying to kick me out because they made the wrong price on their stuff. Yo, ask them. And the guy said, yes, it is $78. Remember, you're going to be viral. You're going to be viral. I don't think.
So they're refusing service. Okay, so that it's over now. They're refusing you. They can refuse service. So now you have to leave. Once they refuse you service, you have to leave now.
Lowe's is going to like this. You see how they treat? You see how they treating us, Lowe's? You're going to be viral in the morning. Lowe's. This is how you manage it. This is how you manage your acts, Lowe's. My name is Joseph Jones. Joseph Jones.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So that's what he told me. So look,
well, you don't really have to explain nothing to them. And then
So now you're telling your buddy that he doesn't have to explain anything to the police. Yes, the fuck he does. Or you can leave. If you want to stay, you have to explain it to the police. Now, if you just want to leave, you don't have to explain shit to the police.
Yeah, right? I got you. Yeah. So that's what he told me. So look,
well, you don't really have to explain nothing to them. And then the social media will explain it to them later. And this guy, they will know your name in seconds, bro. You're going to be so viral later for trying to cause this problem. You don't want to de-escalate. You're supposed to be the manager. I hope you have a job for your family in the morning. Now you disappeared because you called police. For what?
I mean, you're a big, strong dude with tattoos all over his body, yelling and getting irate. That's why he called the police. This ain't the place for that. This ain't the block. This ain't the hood.
For what?
Can you get someone behind here? He was supposed to be run up 5 minutes ago. Yeah, but he came. Well, right now, while we're here, can you get someone else to ring him up?
Now it's somebody else to ring him up. The manager just came out here and told me that I can't shop in here. He said I did something wrong.
Yeah, but Dave went to check the price.
It doesn't matter. The price was wrong. We had to give it to him in honor.
Okay, that's all I needed.
Okay, so the price was wrong. So he said, we got this guy. This is loss prevention. So he's from loss prevention. These are the people that, watch the cameras in the back, catch people stealing. So he came out and he made the call that, look, the price is wrong. You got to give it to him.
Disappeared because you called police? For what? For what?
Can you get someone behind here? He was supposed to be run up 5 minutes ago. Yeah, but he came. Well, right now, while we're here, can you get someone else to ring him up?
Now it's somebody else to ring him up. The manager just came out here and told me that I can't shop in here. He said I did something wrong.
Yeah, but Dave went to check the price. It doesn't matter. The
price was wrong. We had to give it to him in honor.
Okay, that's all I needed.
Oh, they're gonna be so viral tomorrow. The price is wrong. I'm right. And he just made me feel like a criminal. Where's the guy that was right here that just came out here?
He made you feel like a criminal.
They said, this is our fucking policy. This is what happens too much in America. You heard? Pardon me. And I don't like to have my phone out, but shit gets spooky when police come around, especially when we're innocent.
Shit gets spooky when police come around, especially when we're innocent. Shout out to Barry B. Barry B is in the building. What's going on, Mac Knight? You know who Jim Jones is?
Nah, I've heard of them. This shit is embarrassing, bro. Especially for a multimillionaire. I could maybe see like some regular ass nigga doing this shit, but a multimillionaire doing it, bro. And you got this whole feminine, I want to speak to the manager ass energy, bro. This shit is embarrassing.
You think he's embarrassed, or are you embarrassed?
I'm embarrassed.
Okay.
He should be embarrassed, but niggas don't have shame, so
Yeah, I don't think he's embarrassed at all.
We're gonna figure this out, right?
You can figure it out, bro. I'm just doing what's allowed to do in America, my brother. Is yelling a crime?
No.
Okay then, bro. Like, just leave me alone. You was
Think about the logic, right?
Yelling is a fucking crime. It's called disorderly conduct, you dumb motherfucker.
Is yelling a crime? Just because yelling is not, let's just say yelling is not a crime. But if they're trying to adjudicate the situation, right? The guy just came out the back and said it ruled in your favor. So now they're adjudicating the situation, clearing it up so that you can get your locks for the price the wrong price, right? Which is a unique situation. This is not like, these people don't deal with these situations all the time where somebody's found something on the store floor under the wrong price and came up and said, "Oh, I want this for the wrong price." So it's like they're dealing with it, they're fixing it, and you're yelling. That's
Yeah, I mean
not
he's having a temper tantrum, bro. It's like when the child is crying and shit, and you give them a toy, you give them what they want, and they still fucking crying. That's what it
yeah,
is.
yeah. The residual tears, they gotta slowly wind down the tears after you give them the toy. Yeah.
My question is like, what does he think? Like, okay, because he keeps saying you gonna go viral, you gonna go viral. Why do niggas think going viral is something? Like, who the fuck cares?
Because he thinks that people will comment on the video and side with him and, dox the other guy. He already said he's going to dox him, find out where he works, harass him, or, just make him feel bad for, not giving him the locks for the price that, not making the decision that obviously, was over his head. But he tried to make the decision in real time. Like the manager was like, "All right, you can have it."
Is
And
that a
then
law? Is that like an actual law, or is that like store policy? That's my question.
it's probably store policy. And I think it's all store policy.
It's fucking policy. This is what happens too much in America. You heard? Pardon me. And I don't like to have my phone out, but shit gets spooky when police come around, especially when we're innocent.
We're gonna figure this out, right?
You can figure it out, bro. I'm just doing what's allowed to do in America, my brother. Is yelling a crime?
No.
Okay then, bro. Like, just leave me alone. You wasn't done wrong. I was. My money's still up there. They take my money. All right, bet. You don't want to come outside and talk to me, bro? You don't want to come outside and say you was wrong and apologize? Maybe I won't post it. You don't want to say I apologize? You don't want to turn around? You don't want to let the people know what you did, how you wronged me? You could have de-escalated the situation as a good manager and saved face for Lowe's. I come in here every week. What happened? You keep walking away. That's bad management skills. You have no customer service skills whatsoever.
Bro, where's all this emotion coming from, bro? Why is
While
he so
being right and
emotional
black
about
in
this
America,
shit?
this shit crazy.
He sounds like he about to cry.
Yeah.
People call police on black people as if that's supposed to scare them. There's no crimes being committed. The only time people get scared if there's crimes being committed. That's what us black people need to understand. We gotta stand down. These people be trying to do too much to us over nothing because they feel a type of way, because we're allowed to do the things they're allowed to do. That's what America's here for. It's a free country. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Oh, fucking A, man. You niggas are the worst, man.
Is that Karen activity though? Because that was a white woman. They have been Karen all day long.
Oh yeah. There he go again. This is him talking.
And the Airhead Award of the day goes to Jim Jones, who's on the highway riding and runs out of gas. Wow. 93.
Yes.
93 cash.
Yeah, this is another day too.
I just walked about a mile to the gas station. That can't be good. But I got my work jacket on. Dip set in full effect. They can't say they don't see me. I'm working. But yeah, like I said, this is my situation. There's always something. So I was supposed to do the live stream at 12. Don't look out like I'll make it at 12, but let's try for 12:30. Give me a quick second. Never failed. Never fucked.
Nigga ran out of gas on the highway 2 days ago, and then he got this today. Jesus Christ, nigga. You're a mess, man. Unfucking believable, man. Black people are so fucking annoying, man.
It's starting to sound like he just did that whole thing for fucking content, to be honest with you. Like you could not have been that pressed about that shit.
Nah, I think he could have been. I think he could have been. I think he could have been, man. Did you ever see Tyrese when he was in the Home Depot and he went off on the customers, the cashier?
Yeah, I saw that. What was that about?
Man, just some she disrespected him or something.
Oh no, I know what it was. So I think he gave his card. If I remember correctly. Yeah.
I remember, yeah. He was contracted. He gave his card to his contractor, and his contractor tried to use his credit card, but they wouldn't let the contractor use his credit card because it wasn't the contractor's card, which was actually good, good customer service. Because what if the card wasn't the contractor? What if it was a thief or somebody who found Tyrese's card? Oh man, he went, yeah. Look at this nigga, bro. Jesus Christ. Everywhere they go, they make everybody feel uncomfortable. They infringe on other people's experiences.
And then cry because nobody wants to be around them.
Long Island woman throws dynamite at sleeping boyfriend and his hand is blown off trying to save himself. That rough bitch, man. That's one rough looking bitch right there, boy. She looks evil.
That bitch get dynamite from? That's the question.
Yeah, like if you get dynamite, you an evil bitch. Cause I don't know where the fuck. Maybe fireworks store.
Bro, you can't buy dynamite at a fireworks store.
A quarter stick, you can buy a quarter stick. You can buy like.
Nah, that's just out. Nah, they outlawed that shit, bro. You can't buy M80s anymore. Oh well, I don't know. Maybe out in the country somewhere. Never mind.
She got it. Oh, white girls, some white girls in it. Oh, black girls versus white girls. Oh shit! Black girls versus white girls. Black girls versus white girls. the black girls won't let go. The black girl won't let go. The black girl won't let go. Jeez.
Anytime a white girl fights a black girl, she's at a distinct disadvantage because they go.
Experiences.
Well, not even experience, but when they pull hair, the black girl's hair gonna come off.
Yeah, sure did. Yeah, definitely. So yeah. Yeah. Her shit at the root. Her shit won't come out. You pull that shit out at the root. Let's see. Okay. What is this happening here? This is there's a new trend called speed runs, where groups of teenagers walk inside businesses, in this case, the Church of Scientology, and run like a bunch of wild animals, knocking things down. This new trend is spreading across the country. Is your city next? Okay. Speed runs. That was Ron Hubbard.
Go.
Now, I ain't even gonna lie. I would have probably done some stupid shit like this when I was a young person. But you should be punished for it. Like, I could see getting swept up in the crowd, you know what I mean? Wanting to fit in, wanting to do something bad. The energy, excitement of breaking rules and shit like that. But you still should be punished for it.
Yo, this isn't even Scientology.
This is a museum. He's knocking shit over. Harassing staff. Oh God! Punish those kids. Punish them. Governor DeSantis is calling for the immediate impeachment of Judge Tiffany Baker. Judge Baker released the child rapist who was the known danger to society. While out, the rapist tortured and killed a 5-year-old little girl. She should be impeached. Yeah, you gotta these. I don't even think most black women, they don't make good judges because they're trying to be right, wrong. They look at their job as to right the wrongs of the past through the current criminal that's in front of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna make up for slavery by letting fucking Tyrone go for whatever, for raping kids and shit. It's sick.
I appreciate the legislature for passing this, but I will just say to my friends in the Florida House of Representatives, I don't think what you've done is enough. You have the power and you have sufficient numbers in your chamber to impeach this judge, Tiffany Baker. Until you start holding these judges accountable, they are going to continue to find ways to benefit the criminal element. this was an outrage, this was such an easy call to make sure that this guy was put behind bars. And this judge refused to do it, knowing the risks, and the result has obviously been a tragedy. So Florida Constitution vests the House of Representatives with the ability to bring an impeachment against a circuit judge with 2/3 majority. You know, last time I checked, we've got way more than 2/3 of Republicans. Honestly, I think some Democrats would vote to impeach, given what happened in this case.
No, I mean that's a big thing though. Like it's never gonna happen, but judges definitely need to be held accountable for that type of stuff. I think civilly as well, because they're letting these people out, you know, on bond for things like murder, violent crimes, and stuff like that, and then they go out and they reoffend again. You know, it's just completely irresponsible. They definitely need to be held accountable, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen. They're just too fucking powerful.
Right. It says racist bigot doesn't like riding the train with white people. Talking about baseball. She'd much rather ride the train when someone is yelling, fighting, pissing, or smoking crack. It says, remind me to never take the train into the city on a Saturday morning before a baseball game. Loud, straight, white, suburban beer drinkers are my nightmare. Right? It says mocking armchair critics who have probably never touched a gun, let alone faced a crazed demon, asking why not tase him. He's got a knife. Oh, shit. Yeah. He slipped. That nigga, if he slipped. If he would have slipped. Damn, that nigga kept coming. That's crazy. Yeah, why didn't they tase him? Why do you care? Look at that guy. That guy's still coming. He's still coming. That's a demon right there. He's still running. That's a straight up demon, yo. Straight up. Mm. Wow. Let me go back to wow. Woman who went viral in 2022 for her $47 wedding dress dies at 32 during childbirth. Damn. That's crazy.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Bro found a good one too. That's crazy.
That's crazy. $47 wedding dress. She's definitely a good one. Oh yeah, they fucking with Eric Kirk now. She photographed with the Fox analyst, the Fox News host.
But it's not a joke, right? It's not. We are not in some form of literally articulated type like puppet mastering situation. I'm a married man. Okay. I've been married for almost 5 years. If I lost my wife to something like that, it's a fucking joke, people. And it's time for you to wake up and realize what is actually taking place. Because as long as they continue to do this and they have the empathy and the support, they're going to continue to do it. And here, I'm going to leave you one last thing before I go.
What's
because
he
this
mean?
one
He's
is
not
wildly
saying what he
frustrating.
means.
Okay. They let you vote. Think about that.
What is she not supposed to take a picture with a Fox News host? I don't understand like what she did wrong here. Because if people say I'll be shilling for Erica Kirk, what is she wrong?
Man, but you actually average person what they don't like about Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk. They don't fucking know. It's just popular to hate them now. That's really it. Hell, most of these motherfuckers never even heard of Charlie Kirk until after he died, myself included.
Hold it down for me. I'll be right back.
All right. Start rapping.
Yeah, if she didn't take that picture with him, then what would the story be? Racist Charlie Kirk wife.
Exactly. If she said, "Nah, I ain't gonna take a picture with this nigga," then everybody would have been mad anyway. It's like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
It's nice to know that when your husband gets his neck blown out, you still can't win.
Now I will say this. Okay, I will say this. I do feel like she's going a little bit overboard. I think she should have took a little bit of time to kind of mourn and shit before getting on stage.
I agree.
I do think that's in bad taste. But with that said, if I personally had a wife and I were to die, okay, get the bag, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what you gotta do. Get the bag. You know, it's for my kid. It's for you. You know, go ahead and do that shit.
And, and she did it all sort of in the name of furthering Charlie Kirk's, message and cause too. It's not like she took his mantle and then went 180 degrees out of phase, It's not like she got the job and then said, next time I'm voting for Kamala or some shit. She's trying to stay with his message. She's just, everything about her is kind of tacky and upfront and a little, premature.
It's in poor taste. But that's the thing is, unfortunately, that's how that world works. You gotta do these things.
But even if she'd stayed more in the background, they'd still hate her. She's a white woman who is married to the guy who represents, in their mind, represents white supremacy. So they're gonna hate her no matter what she does. It doesn't matter. She could say we're gonna give all the money to the NAACP. They'd still fucking hate her.
No, that's a good point. Because if she said nothing, they would probably be like, well, she doesn't care or whatever. She's, yeah, probably.
nothing she's going to say or do can please the people that don't like her.
Well, these people can't be pleased, and I'll give you an example. The whole Trump assassination thing. You got 50% of these people saying it's staged, and you got other 50% saying that they're sorry that the shooter didn't actually get to them.
Yeah, which is bananas. Yeah.
No, they're the most deranged people, and this is the most deranged timeline I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, you're not going to convince me that Trump derangement syndrome does not belong in the fucking DSM-5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's completely got their brains, scrambled beyond reality. I can get not liking Trump, not liking his policies, but the level they take it to, where they get up, they dream nightmares about him all night long. They wake up in the morning, the first thing they do is, God damn fucking Trump. And then they just go through the day complaining and bitching about Trump for shit that, is just nonsense.
Well, I'll give you a clear example of this. This is a conversation I had tonight. By the way, it was on Reddit, and Reddit's just a fucking cesspool. So, what was it? We got on the topic of porn stars, right? Brandy Love, MILF porn star. And one dude was like, yeah, I love Brandy Love, but I just can't get down with her politics. He said something like that. Like, he couldn't watch her because of her politics. And I'm like, nigga, are you telling me that you were thinking about Trump when you jacking off, bro? Like, these people
Is
are
she a Trumper?
Yeah, she is a Trumper. But the thing is, like,
that's wild. You wouldn't think in that business that you would have Trumpers. You just think they're all crazy anyway, so they'd be crazy leftists, and
Well, you would, right? You would. But no, she's come out as a Trump supporter and stuff. But I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck what her politics are. I'm trying to jack off. Shit.
Yeah. Well.
But that's how deep that shit goes for them, though.
Yeah. It never leaves their thoughts. Everything. Fucking Trump. Fucking Trump.
I'm pretty sure if one of these motherfuckers has they need open heart surgery or some shit, and if they find out the doctor is a Trump supporter, they will literally die. I'm pretty sure a lot of them would do that. Like, that's how deep this shit goes for them.
Well, they're certainly not reproducing, The anti-Trump people, they're either gay or feminists who don't want to have kids, or they're not reproducing. So
unfortunately they are, though, because they're going around adopting a bunch of kids and turning them fucking gay.
They're not really, the numbers are not real high, though. Some of them are adopting or whatever, and who knows. The likelihood of a kid who's adopted by a couple of gay dudes rebelling and being the opposite of that are just as common as not. Kids are just, I don't know,
man. I can only go based on celebrities and stuff. I think, what's that chick's name? Charlize Theron or whatever.
Charlize Theron, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, didn't she
she's turned a couple of black boys into girls, I think.
Yes. But I'm like, what are the chances in that, though? You know what I'm saying? These people have got to be pushing this.
That lightning can strike 2 or 3 times in the same household? What are the chances? Yeah, right.
It's so they can sit back at their little, bacon wrap shrimp club and talk about how fucking, progressive they are, and little Johnny decided to become Jane and get the little, get their little accolades from their equally fucking stupid friends.
I think Megan Fox has 3 of them. 3 boys.
Megan Fox as well. Yep.
Yeah.
It's popular, man. It's popular now.
It's not only popular, it's kind of the law. Like, if you have anything but support to say about it, you're out. That's why I was surprised this porn star you mentioned is openly Trump. You'd think that people would refuse to work with her, and other chick porn stars, especially because they wear their politics on their sleeves, would probably shut her out.
Ironically enough, this is the ironic thing about it, which was kind of fucked up, but I understand it. She actually got kicked out of a Turning Point USA show because she showed up, and basically they were they told her to leave and whatnot because they didn't, basically because she's a fucking porn star.
Yeah, clearly she's a kook. She's claiming to be, I'm guessing, having conservative values, yet this is what she does for a living. She's just trying to get clout from another bunch of people. It's a joke. She's not thoughtful. She'd stop doing what she was doing. She never would have started if she had any morals.
Nah, I just find it weird, though, at that time where, you know, you're about to beat your meat, and you're like, oh shit, I can't do it because of Trump. Like, really? Like, what the fuck?
Or maybe it's what gets him off. Maybe he's into it. He's really just, you know, going at it because he's got Trump on his mind and he's full of anger and fury while he whacks it.
Yeah, what do you think about the whole assassination attempt thing?
I haven't seen much of it. I was kind of watching the Nuggets game when it all popped off, and I think it was probably a real kook who really wanted to get in there and do something really crazy. But there's just going to be 50% or 40% of the people who think it's staged, or from either some false flag to people who believe the Earth is flat and we never went to the moon. They believe this kind of stuff.
But here's my problem with that, right? Is okay, there are people who believe those things about moon landing, blah 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 blah, but they're not as duplicitous as the left is, right? Because one second they're calling, Alex Jones a fucking conspiracy theorist, which, by the way, a lot of the shit that he has said over the years has come to fruition. Like, it turned out to be true.
Sure.
Okay. But yeah, they want to call him a conspiracy theorist, and then they try and say, okay, the Trump assassination was a conspiracy. And I'm like, bro, so you telling me that Biden's FBI, okay, during the time, because that happened during, the Biden administration was in power. So you telling me the FBI, the Secret Service, all these motherfucking news people, CNN was even there, of all people, but Trump was able to fucking stage a shooting. Some other guy got killed. Like, are you serious right now?
Did someone get killed? I thought they caught the guy. I thought he was in custody.
No. I'm talking about the first assassination.
Oh, Butler? Yeah.
Yeah. There are people who still think that was staged because Trump's ear didn't explode from a grazing wound, because they don't understand how bullets work,
We'll never know the truth. Even if it, I'm willing to presume it's not staged, but if it were, how, you'll never know.
I mean, but how would you pull that off? I'm just saying. I don't
think it's staged. But whether it's fake moon landings or Sandy Hook, who's to say what is or isn't real anymore? You can't prove it. You can't know, or you can think but be relying on completely fabricated information. We're never gonna know. It's almost like that's kind of how I am with the Epstein files. It's like I've been through this sort of conspiratorial, secret underground of world leaders stuff going back to, before the JFK assassination, and we still don't know. So yeah, maybe.
No, I mean, I'm not saying, okay, I'm not sitting here going to pretend like the government tells us the truth. I'm not going to pretend like, conspiracies don't happen. I mean, I have my own, views about 9/11, for instance, but I'm just saying, like, on national television, and the people who are in charge of the investigation literally hate your guts. They tried to get you in, or they did impeach you. They did convict you. We're talking about Biden's FBI. If there was even a shred of evidence that was a hoax, they would have fucking found it. Even if they had to make it up, they would have fucking found it. That alone should tell you the shit was real.
Yeah. I don't know, man. What's amazing is this is now the third attempt that we know about in public on his life, and it's just kind of like, that was the news that day. We're kind of already past it,
Oh yeah,
I feel like it's like people are so waiting. Half the people are so waiting for him to die. They're just waiting for somebody to do the job right, and then they'll celebrate. And there's no unifying outcry against political violence. There's none of that coming from the Democrats or the left. It's just like,
only when it happens to them, and that's what I hate about it, right?
But it doesn't happen to them. When was it's been a while.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. It doesn't happen to them. But my thing is this, okay? I'm prior military. I'm trained to hate my enemy. Okay, I hate my enemy. If my enemy hurts me, though, I'm not going to sit here and cry foul because you're my fucking enemy. The left, though, they go out and they assault people, they attack people, and the second someone pulls a Glock on their ass, all of a sudden, it's a problem. Just with the whole ICE situation, that's a good example.
Because their whole game is manipulation. It's all just to manipulate. There's no real values behind their claims. It's just simply to never never take their foot off the gas. You know, people, when Trump got elected, people were like, all right, we're going to see some people get deported. Let's see what happens. No, they had their foot on the gas the whole time. They're not going to stop. You can't beat them until you destroy them. That's the only way to defeat them, is to destroy them. Start putting them in jail. Start locking them up, and you'll see that shit stop. All that stuff going on in the streets. That's the only way you can stop them.
No, I agree with that. I'm mainly talking to the people, because I used to be one of those people who was still on the fence. Maybe we can talk about this. Maybe there's something we can work out. Maybe we can find common ground. And honestly, it was really the Charlie Kirk situation that showed me there's no common ground with these people. Okay, there is none. There's no coexistence with these people. You know, either we need to stay completely away from each other, or we need to just basically go straight to war. But there's no coexisting with people like that.
It's a realization that sort of people on the right have come to, but when you hear it expressed so plainly, it sounds like what they've been saying for the past 25 years. We can't live with these people. They're creating the very enemy that they claim to be against. You know, they're going to create fascists and racists and people who want to destroy them. They're determined to create it so they can have the political bloodletting that they seek.
And the wild part about it is, I use myself an example. I hated Biden. I hated Biden. I thought he was a fucking moron. I didn't think he was actually in charge of the country. So I guess what I want to say is I hate his handlers. But what I'm saying is, like, even with the hatred I had for him, I would never wish ill upon him.
Of course.
Just because of his position, I would never want someone to assassinate a president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who the fuck is in office. The position itself is something that I view as an American as sacred. Okay, maybe that's just me being, military, but I don't, but these people celebrating and then them wanting Trump dead, like, it's maddening.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's got less than 2.5 years left, and then he's done, and then it's anybody's game. It's a wide open field again, and they can't have that. They want blood. And in a system that was created to avoid specifically that. The whole point of our democratic process is so that we're not murdering each other to seize power. Peaceful transfer of power is what it's always been about, and they can't even wait for that. They want blood. And what would they have gained if they had killed Trump last night? You'd have President Vance, which gives him 2 years to kind of really get his shit in order so he can be a stronger opponent in the 2028. It's just stupid.
And also, I mean, yeah, and then also the momentum of, because obviously, Trump used. I think when they tried to kill Trump, that really solidified his victory for me. Like, when that happened, and he had that whole moment, that stand up and fight moment, I was like, that's it, it's over, he won. Yeah. And if that were to occur, JD Vance would ride that momentum right back into the White House as well. But these people are too stupid to realize that.
Well, that's why it's called derangement. They're scrambled.
But they also don't understand the implications of the things that they say. All right, they don't understand the implications of the things that they want. Because do you want to live in a world where we can just take out political officials, if we don't like their politics? Is that really a world that you want to live in? Because it's not a world that I want to live in.
It's the same with their attacks or their their dislike of so-called free speech. It's like, how do you think gays got the right to get married if it weren't for people's free speech to go out and lobby and campaign and speak about that shit? You really want to start limiting free speech? Because you won't have trans rights if you take away free speech. But they can't think beyond their hatred of basically conservative white Americans. The people who are
I'm pretty sure I get more hate than you do, bro. Me being black and all. They hate my ass. There's no more racist. The most racist comments I've ever received have not even been from, like, quote unquote racist. It's been from fucking liberals. The second a liberal finds out you are a black conservative, that is they get real fucking racist.
All that Uncle Tom stuff, and
Uncle Tom and fucking Uncle Ruckus and fucking, who's that motherfucker from Django Unchained, Samuel. Oh yeah, yeah.
Because of your internalized racism.
That's it. My internalized racism. That's it. Yes, I hate myself and all that shit. Like, no, I don't hate. And that's the thing is, I'm the guy. You know, fucking Ox the sellout. You know, Tommy Sotomayor, he's a sellout. It's not the drug dealer. It's not the gang member. You know, it's not the YNs going around terrorizing their communities. No, niggas who have a different opinion than the monolith. You know, we are the problem.
Yeah, the guys who don't go along with the approved group identity. You know, if you don't go along with the "my life is shit because of slavery that happened 180 years ago" argument or belief, then you're an Uncle Tom.
Yep, not invited to the cookouts, wherever that is.
Salute to Barry James, man. I don't know Barry James. I don't know why people need so much drama. I don't know.
Oh, look at this old message.
Yeah, salute to you, man. So yeah, Erica Kirk is people are fucking with Erica Kirk now. Like Candace has done a number. I will say that Candace has done a number because like none of these people gave it. Even after Charlie Kirk died, they didn't give a damn about her. Nobody was thinking about her as nothing but like, oh, the widow, poor widow. That's it.
Well, Candace has lost her goddamn mind, bro. I don't know what the fuck happened to her, but she's lost her goddamn mind. She
Remember
said
Brown
crazy as
Sugar?
shit.
Remember how Brown Sugar flipped? The black girl used to come on this channel from Memphis.
What happened?
She like started becoming liberal and hating white people, and then she stopped coming up here.
Yeah, I think she said she moved to a more white neighborhood or something like that.
Well, she had been there.
Yeah.
Wait, so she stopped coming up here because of what?
She's sort of in disagreement with some of the general tenets of belief on this channel. That sons bear responsibility for their predicament. That it's not all white people.
I mean, she was always kind of on the fence, though, in my opinion. But I think she was on the fence about a lot of stuff. She couldn't disprove anything. That was the problem. Like, we would walk her ass down in a lot of those discussions, and so she either get mad, like most females do, or just completely shut down.
They say Erica's dating a black man. These people are crazy.
I thought she was having an affair with J.D. Vance. What are they talking about?
Yeah, these people are nuts, man.
J.D. Vance, who's married to a legal immigrant.
These people are crazy.
Now, are these leftists or right wingers saying this stuff?
That's crazy. Eric Kirk is dating the black man. That is insane. They fuck with this girl so much, man.
She gets more hate than Charlie Kirk does. Shit.
Erica Kirk looks so happy next to this tall black man.
Rex Lipinski. In front of that plantation house. What is that behind him? Look at that. What is that, the White House? Well, people built that house, so she's just showing her gratitude.
Charlie Kirk's widow appeared at the White House dinner with a black dude. With all the things Charlie used to say about black people, you'd expect his widow to show him some respect. Wow. These liberals are crazy, man.
I think some of these might be conservatives.
They would know that he's a Fox. If they're conservatives, they would know he was Fox. He does the big show on Fox. He's been doing it for years. They would know who he is.
I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch Fox News. I watch.
Yeah, maybe they don't. Yeah, maybe they don't watch Fox. I don't know. It says literally 1 hour before alleged gunshots, a huge MAGA slop account and press secretary Carolyn Levitt tell us there will be shots fired.
Yeah, that's idiocy.
Yeah,
Clearly, she meant jokes.
Yeah, she's talking about he gonna roast the crowd or whatever.
Sure. But that's meat for the retards.
Yeah.
She said shots fired.
I'll tell you what, being in Secret Service has got to be the most stressful job. Like now, I mean, it was always stressful, but now.
Wait a minute. There's go back a couple out. There's. She seems to have left the black guy. Scroll down one more. She seems to have left this black man for a white guy. Go back. You're going the wrong way. Roll down two more.
Go down.
Down. Yeah. Right. Next one. Look at there. She's with a white guy now. Or is that a white guy even?
I don't know what the fuck that is. Is it a clown? I don't know what it is.
That's pretty wild looking, yeah. Plastic face.
Yeah, Candace did a dumb on her. Candace Owens calls for the police to question. Oh God, that's old. Wow. Damn, Eric Kirk. Oh well, she got, she'll be all right.
Shit, damn Gummin might have been there for her as much as people have been talking.
Right. Candace would love for somebody to take out Eric Kirk. She hates her that much.
Still in her spotlight.
Actually,
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
Making her spotlight. What else would Candace be?
Exactly. She benefits from Erica Kirk being alive. Like, you get to beat her upside the head every day. What's up, Reese?
What's up? You can hear me?
You very low. Very, very low.
What about now?
Yeah, you good.
All right.
Yeah. So, let's see. Oh man, there's a black dude trapped in Japan, accused of sexual assault, fighting to clear his name.
There are so many DNA evidence in this case. Christopher Payne's conviction has been overturned and a retrial has been ordered. As he sits in a prison in Japan, Chris is now facing severe health challenges. And his mother tells me she's not sure how much longer he can survive in solitary confinement.
He looks like some kind of mix.
I will keep surviving.
Pressing her palm against the inked outline of a hand.
I'm tired, Mom. But I won't disappoint you.
It's the closest Rhonda Payne has come to a hug from her only child in more than 4 years. The outline traced by Christopher Payne inside his prison cell in Japan, half a world away.
Somebody, you gotta mute yourself, Mac.
Physical thing that I have, other than his letters.
His words are a stark contrast to the young, adventure-loving Crown Point native who moved to Japan in 2013 after teaching himself Japanese as a teenager. He worked several jobs, including as an English teacher. And even found success in mixed martial arts. The mother and son visited each other regularly until November 25th, 2021, when she got a call from a Japanese phone number she didn't recognize.
So I picked the phone up and it was Chris's boss. Chris wanted me to let you know he's been arrested. I said, is it bad? They said, it's bad. What is it? A woman was attacked.
But here comes the first of several twists. The crime had happened 3 years before. In July of 2018, in the city of Ichikawa, a masked man followed a woman from a train station, threatened her, and sexually assaulted her while speaking fluent Japanese. Afterward, investigators recovered only trace DNA evidence from her mouth, mixed with her own, after she spat and rinsed her mouth before contacting police.
Oh shit, she gave that nigga spit. Yo, they gave it away. He got some noggin, man. He got some head.
In the city of Ichikawa, a masked man followed a woman from a train station, threatened her, and sexually assaulted her while speaking fluent Japanese. Afterward, investigators recovered only trace DNA evidence from her mouth mixed with her own after she spat and rinsed her mouth before contacting police. In a completely unrelated incident in February of 2020, Chris was arrested after drunkenly falling asleep in the entryway of a stranger's home and consented to a voluntary DNA swab.
What do y'all think so far? What do we think so far?
She should have swallowed and collected the evidence.
Wow. Whew. Only here.
What do we think so far, though?
This is a tough one here. This dude doesn't look like not that there's a look, but
there definitely ain't a look. The look shit is.
He's got DNA.
Chris Hansen proved that the look don't mean shit.
Look don't mean nothing.
But I'm saying, man, God damn. DNA is DNA.
I mean, the fact that he fell asleep in the strangers. Hold on. Because this is how he got caught.
Woman from a train station threatened her and sexually assaulted her while speaking fluent Japanese. Afterward, investigators recovered only trace DNA evidence from her mouth mixed with her own after she spat and rinsed her mouth before contacting police. In a completely unrelated incident in February of 2020, Chris was arrested after drunkenly falling asleep in the entryway of a stranger's home and consented to a voluntary DNA swab, not thinking twice about it. But in November 2021, police said they discovered that the DNA was consistent with that of the woman's attacker.
After that day.
What's the odds of that in Japan? Not like all the way on the other side of the earth. What's the odds of DNA consistent with his? Like, because it's not a lot of DNA, consistent with his over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he learns. Somebody got a lot of noise in their background. He learns fluent Japanese as a teenager, so he can speak fluent Japanese. They said the attacker spoke fluent Japanese. He's over there from America and 1,000,000 miles away from home, and his DNA hits a match in a rape case over there. That's crazy, right? That's like getting struck by lightning, right?
Where was she attacked at?
Walking home.
Yeah, this guy's he's a piece of shit.
He's an MMA fighter too.
Wow.
Yeah, he was an MMA fighter over there.
You know that'd make his crime worse, right?
Japanese as a teenager. He worked several jobs, including as an English teacher. And even found success in mixed martial arts. The mother and son visited.
See? So he was over there. So she didn't have a chance.
When you commit a crime against somebody and you're like a registered fighter, you're considered a deadly weapon. So your crime it's not assault anymore. It's like assault with a deadly weapon.
Nah, bro, that's a myth, bro. That's a myth.
No, it ain't. No, it is not.
All right, well, link the law.
That's the way it was.
Send me a link of the actual law.
You might be right, yo, because I'm going off what I knew a long time ago, 30 plus years ago.
It's a myth, brother.
He assaulted her with deadly DNA.
I think you might be right.
Home and consented to a voluntary DNA swab, not thinking twice about it. But in November 2021, police said they discovered that the DNA was consistent with that of the woman's attacker.
Sure, they took the DNA from his swab and put it in her file, and now they got a conviction. That's what she's going to say. They planted his DNA.
So the victim originally reported to the police that she believed he was Japanese. He spoke during the attack and spoke in perfectly unaccented Japanese, which is pretty much impossible to do for a non-native speaker.
Freelance journalist Gavin Blair, who's lived and worked in Japan for more than 2 decades, began covering Chris's case late last year. Not only did Chris not match the original suspect description, the DNA evidence was anything but solid.
They tested Chris's DNA before the crime scene sample, which, as one of his lawyers described it, is like having the answer to the question before you take the test.
It looked like they had been edited in some way.
San Francisco-based forensic DNA consultant Simon Ford told me he reviewed the underlying DNA data and found several significant issues. Not only had the DNA files from the crime scene been edited to look more like Chris's DNA without any disclosure, but Ford discovered the DNA expert appointed by the prosecution also ran the test 34 times.
What he did was he tested it over and over again, trying to hit the right value.
In your opinion, would this DNA evidence...
Man, a stuntman finally passes a test and they're trying to take it away from him.
Wow. Jesus Christ. So he said he ran the test 34 times, trying to get the right value.
Here in the United States.
Probably not. I think that this evidence really should just be disregarded.
After years of Chris refusing to confess to a crime he didn't commit, these revelations were so significant that Chris's legal team was able to convince the Tokyo High Court to overturn Payne's guilty verdict in December and send the case back to the Chiba District Court for retrial.
So let's see another good one here. Oh,
Crazy ass Chris in the chat thinks it's a setup.
After years
Japan
of
is
trying to
racist.
convince anyone who would listen that her son was innocent,
I've suffered in silence, and nobody would listen.
and speaking out against Japan's infamous legal practice where suspects are held in a prolonged pretrial detention to coerce confessions.
Because you have Japan's judicial system, but you also have a hostage justice system.
The High Court's ruling wasn't
I would
credible.
say I would be for this guy getting off if he didn't do it, but I wouldn't be for Japan changing anything. Once you start get black people over your country, you start tinkering with your justice system and shit, it goes downhill. Just keep the shit the same way and let this guy go. What do you think about that? Because
Japan doesn't play around with the justice system, like especially like the death penalty. They don't play around with that shit.
Yeah, those people over there, they different, man. They cool with harsh laws and shit. They, you know what I mean? If they say you did the shit, you did the shit.
Well,
They
they're not
fine
atoning
with
for a
that.
legacy of slavery. Sorry.
Yeah. If you get accused of something over there, you did that shit. That's the way those people are over there. That's why you shouldn't go over there.
Fun fact about Japan though, like, I said fun fact about Japan. So like, if you get sentenced to death, like you're not sitting on death row for like 40 fucking years like United States. But also, they never tell you your actual execution date. So like for real, like one day somebody just shows up, be like, all right, bro, today's the day. So like you sitting on death row. You sitting on death row every day you wake up, wondering if today's the day.
Damn.
But not one that brought him home. Chris was denied bail until his retrial.
It could be still another 2-3 years. It's not impossible.
Just to get a date, or just to get...
To get the retrial, until the real trial, that wouldn't be that unusual. Prosecutors have huge amounts of power. Even judges are kind of wary of challenging their power.
So Chris's family...
He has not talked on a phone. He has not hugged a person.
Crazy.
He has not done anything in 4 years.
How does...
He hasn't been able to get a phone call. Wow. I love these stories though, because a lot of Americans talk shit about America. And we got the best fucking of everything, man. He would have had a phone call. He would have had a phone call that night.
He'd have been out the streets the next day.
Yeah, if not the next day, he'd have been out the next day. He was on the streets the next day.
That make you feel as a mother, as his mother?
We have so much racism to atone
As
for.
a
We have to
mother.
cover Japanese shit too.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I would not.
And his legal team is trying to raise awareness of his case.
His case is like a concentration of issues
Tsunagi
Japanese
Kiyomi
justice
Tsunagi
system
style.
has.
And hopefully put some pressure on the court system. Recently, that urgency has deepened after Chris suffered repeated episodes of vomiting blood and persistent headaches. I mean, is there a concern that he could die before this case is retried or before there's a final decision?
That's what I'm afraid of. Me and other lawyers too, and other supporters. Really, it's we are not exaggerating.
He spent 4 years in solitary confinement. This is the cell Chris sketched.
4 years in solitary confinement. Good God.
That's an eternity.
My question is, how did they because they said it happened like a while before he got arrested. How did they zero in on him exactly?
They did a voluntary. He fell asleep in I guess some lady's doorway, and he was drunk and he fell asleep there. And cops came and was like, "Yo, wake the fuck up!" And then they asked him to submit a voluntary swap, and then later on they made a match with this rape case.
See, this is why he shouldn't have dated outside his race. This never would have happened.
Should have left them yellow gals alone.
See?
Look at this, though. Like, this dude has been in solitary for 4 years for a crime he hasn't even been tried for yet.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope for his sake,
tiny
for all he
space-
suffered, I hope he did it. I'd hate if he went through all this stuff and he didn't do it. You know?
Right, because she do sound like she has some bomb head, though. Yeah, that lady. Whoever she was. Pause.
I don't understand. Like
that
when a
closes in around him day by day.
consulted, and then it comes time for the oral. Well, she just don't bite down. That'd be the end of everything right there. He wouldn't be able to hold on after that.
Because that nigga will beat the shit out you if you bite his dick.
No, he's not gonna do anything. He's gonna be writhing in pain for the
That's
next
true.
15 minutes. You could stroll away and dust your
No,
clothes.
that's true. You're right. If she bite the head, I'm thinking about she bite anyone that motherfucker. Yeah,
She's got those
you're
Japanese
right.
teeth. She's got those Japanese teeth to sink into it.
You're right, though. That is true. But I think the intimidation, like if you gotta, if you gotta, women are scared. Like if you pull out a weapon, if you pull out a knife, and you say, "Bitch, suck my dick," bitch gonna suck your dick.
It's wild because they do get scary and shit like that. But let a lion be attacking their child. They'll confront the lion. You know what I'm saying? But for themselves, no.
There's a way out, though. There's a way out. If you suck my dick, there's a way out. But that lion, there's no way out.
Is it weird that he drew his cell, but he draws a woman sitting in his cell?
I don't know if this is his drawing. I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was his
Me
drawing.
and other lawyers too, and other supporters. Really, it's we are not exaggerating.
He spent 4 years in solitary confinement. This is the cell Chris sketched.
Oh,
a
it
tiny
is.
space that closes in
It is
around
his
him
sketch.
day by day.
This is a sketch. Wow. So he's
Kind of
a
weird.
girl.
Yeah, female visitors.
Is that the girl? Is he trying to tell us? Is this like OJ and shit? He trying to like?
If I did it.
Yeah, like damn. And he been in there for 4 years. The food trash. That's probably what's giving him the headaches and the vomiting spell. The food.
Well, you're breathing in a lot of CO2 when you're in solitary confinement. Your oxygen is low in a cell like that because you're breathing in breath. That's why sometimes you get dizzy in the gym. People work out real hard, get dizzy, and fall out in the gym because they're breathing in a lot of CO2, especially when the gym is crowded. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So the normal CO2 levels on the
Meanwhile,
earth
his
are
mother-
like 500 ppms. You got 3 or 4 people in a tight room together, running around and doing stuff. That goes up like 5 times, like 2,000.
Oh wow.
The dangerous levels where your organs realize, all right, we short on oxygen.
Mother says she won't stop speaking out until she can hold her son in her arms.
That's our baby.
Instead of the letters he sends from the other side of the world.
I will keep surviving. I'm tired, Mom, but I won't disappoint you.
We reached out to Indiana Congressman Frank Mervan about Payne's case. We've confirmed his office did reach out to the U.S. ambassador to Japan in May of 2025 and was told a consular officer had been conducting regular visits. He also reached out again last week in light of Payne's now urgent health concerns. Just this week, Payne's family also started a petition demanding due process for Chris in Japan, posted on change.org. Megan DeMar, CBS News Chicago investigators.
Megan, by the way, also reached out to U.S. senators from Indiana, but neither could provide any guidance on the case.
Hold your head, Chris, man. We hoping that if you didn't do it, you can get out, man. Let's see this right here. Indiana, Bloomington.
Gunfire breaks out in Bloomington, ending with 5 people shot, but so far no arrests. It happened after midnight on Kirkwood Avenue, the popular nightlife area near
like
Indiana
teens or
University,
juveniles.
where thousands celebrated the Little 500 bike race this weekend. News 8's Alan Self has the latest on the investigation from Bloomington police.
Tim, Chief Mike Dekoff revealed that the gunfire attack was not random, but rather a heated argument that resulted in shots being fired. All the victims were young women.
A 20-year-old female, an 18-year-old female, a 22-year-old female, a 17-year-old female, and a 21-year-old female.
Chief Mike Dekoff confirming the ages of the victims involved in the shooting. He says none are in life-threatening condition.
But I want to reiterate, this was not just random gunfire. It was a fight between 2 people that had broke out.
A fight that spoiled a joyful night, just as people were celebrating at the annual Little 500.
Okay, blacks.
Was it guys
Like-
shooting at each other, hitting women, or were other women shooting at each other? They don't
Right, probably. A lot of times you'll see a guy come up to break it up, and he'll fire some shots. Or maybe in this case, one of the women had a gun and just right. It's too early for them to tell, I guess. So everyone, take the $5 challenge. If you can take the $5 challenge right now, support the channel, sponsor the programming. We are going into, we're in hour, I think we're hour 4, man. Entertaining you tonight. If you're being entertained, man, take the $5 challenge, take the $10 challenge, take the $20 challenge. Put something on it. Sponsor the programming. Let's go. So this happened just after midnight. So Indiana is an hour behind. So yeah, this just happened. Wow.
In Bloomington.
We had several officers stationed in the area to monitor the events. The event was going very peaceful until the shots broke out.
Police say the shooting happened around 12:30 in the morning on the 400 block of East Kirkwood outside of Nick's English Hut. Noah Khan was there and says he's disappointed this took place in this area.
I feel like it's kind of messed up because it's like, this is a college town. I feel like there's no need for someone to get shot.
Yes,
regardless of what the conflict was.
Travis Mitchell, another Bloomington resident, says he saw this coming.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of a normal thing when Little 5 happens. I always hear there's some sort of like shooting or something. I feel like right around the strip.
Bloomington Mayor Terry Thompson encourages residents to leave their guns at home, understanding that Indiana gun laws prevent her from banning firearms in her town.
Leave your guns at home when everyone else is shooting each other. You're
for
going to leave
many
your gun at home.
significant events and protocols in place to try to support crowds. That worked incredibly well for the national championship. And unfortunately, people brought guns to the party last night.
Tim, the mayor added that the city will conduct a review of safety protocols as the investigation continues. In the studio, I'm Alan Self for Wish TV.
They blame the gun laws, which is partially true. Like that
TV.com.
You can't have constitutional carry and have blacks. You have to pick one. You know what I mean? Which one do you want to have? Do you want the blacks or do you want constitutional carry?
Hey, the constitutional carry, right, is a license to kill. I know at least 3 people that have
breaking
dogged
up
my body.
bad, bro.
I'm breaking up.
You breaking up? Yeah, real bad.
I'm gonna go out and come back.
Okay.
WGN Investigates has been digging into the suspect's past while we're not naming him until he's charged with the shooting of the two officers. We have learned that he was on pre-trial release for a carjacking. Investigative reporter Ben Bradley joins us now. Ben, before we talk about the victim, can you remind us what a pre-trial release is all about?
Yeah, Jackie, we've learned that this guy's got a long criminal record with charges dating back to at least 2017. There was a CTA robbery, an armed robbery, a kidnapping. He actually spent several years in prison. Fast forward to last year, and he was charged with a carjacking in the Bronzeville neighborhood. It was an armed robbery and carjacking. It played out, and after he was arrested, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office did seek pretrial detention for him. The crime does qualify for him to be detained. What happened was he was initially detained, but then in December, a few months later, is when a Cook County judge decided to release him on electronic monitoring. The original conditions were 24 hours he had to be at home, 24/7. But then in January, according to court records we reviewed, this suspect was given more freedom. He was allowed to leave for work. And then in March, his electronic monitor went silent, and he was accused of violating curfew a couple of times that month. And then he just didn't show up in court. So in March, an arrest warrant was issued for him, but obviously police didn't come into contact with him until that robbery that played out this weekend when he was arrested. And then as he was taken to the hospital is when he got that gun and allegedly shot the officers.
Now, Ben, you talked to the supposed victim of the carjacking 1 year ago, correct?
Yeah. Okay, so.
Sounds like we need to blame that monitor that stopped working. If it had kept working, he would have stayed home.
Yeah. Absolutely not his fault.
There's our boy.
The
new hero of the left.
Information has been released.
He's the new Free Luigi.
I'm learning new details from a White House official about the alleged shooter at last night's White House Correspondents' Dinner. Law enforcement have identified the suspect as Cole Thomas Allen, and sources do tell News Nation that his manifesto clearly states he was trying to target Trump administration officials. A law enforcement source revealing he was targeting President Trump specifically. The White House also telling me he had a lot of anti-Trump and anti-Christian rhetoric on his social media accounts. Take a look at exactly how the suspect outlined his planned targets. His manifesto was originally obtained by the New York Post, a source confirming these parts of it to News Nation that read, administration officials, they are targets, prioritized from highest ranking to lowest. Secret Service, they are targets only if necessary. A White House official tells me minutes before the shooting happened, Allen sent his manifesto to family members. His brother then contacted New London police in Connecticut to warn them, and Secret Service and Montgomery County police interviewed Allen's sister at her home in Maryland. She apparently told law enforcement her brother had a tendency to make these radical statements, also saying he constantly talked about his plan to do something to fix the issues with today's world. She confirmed to police Allen bought 2 handguns and a shotgun, which he stored at their parents' home without their knowledge, and that he went to the shooting range regularly for firearm practice. In addition, the Trump administration official sharing Allen was part of a group called the Wide Awakes and attended a No Kings protest in California. This shooting does raise serious questions about the security precautions at the dinner. You can see in the security footage the suspect rushing past the metal detectors and Secret Service. The president has been very complimentary of the quick action from law enforcement, posting on his True Social that this would not have happened if his White House ballroom was constructed. In an earlier interview, he did share even more thoughts on the shooter's manifesto and why this incident happened.
It was a religious thing. It was strongly anti-Christian. If you're a consequential president, you're in much more danger than if you're not a consequential president. Most presidents are not very consequential.
We are expecting the suspect to be arraigned at a federal courthouse here in Washington, D.C. tomorrow.
They don't have shit new on him. Yeah, nothing new. He's just this is him in 2017. He was on the news in 2017.
In the last 24 hours.
And people will say that's a conspiracy, because he was on the news in 2017.
We've learned a lot about that alleged gunman, Cole Allen from Torrance. He is a registered voter in LA County, but he's not registered with either political party. According to his LinkedIn profile, he's a trained mechanical engineer who graduated from Caltech back in 2017. Just last year, he earned his master's in computer science from Cal State Dominguez Hills. Allen describes himself as an indie game developer, and one such game credited to him is described on its Steam page as a skill-based, non-violent fighting game. Also last year, he posted to LinkedIn that he was named Teacher of the Month at the education company where he's believed to be currently employed.
In the hours after the shooting, when authorities learned that Cole Allen lived in Torrance, they descended on his home trying to learn more. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes is live in Torrance for us this evening with exclusive video you'll only see here on Eyewitness News. Rob.
Yeah, residents here stunned to find out that the D.C. shooting suspect lived right over there at his parents' home. Now, meantime, we're learning that right before the shooting, he sent a message to his family spelling out his plans. Cole Allen, a 31-year-old Caltech engineering graduate and college prep tutor, now in custody, accused of opening fire at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. ABC News quoting sources that say Allen sent a message describing himself as, quote, a friendly federal assassin. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche saying it does appear that Allen was targeting people in the Trump administration, including the president. And an Eyewitness News exclusive, we interviewed a man who appeared to be Allen when he was a student at Caltech.
The idea with this is to prevent it from moving at all.
We found him at an aging conference. He had designed a new way to make wheelchairs safer.
The wheelchair brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't actually lock the chair to the ground.
That was back in 2017. Today, according to his LinkedIn profile, Allen was working for C2 Education, a private company that prepares students for college entrance exams. That profile claiming C2 actually named him its Teacher of the Month in December 2024. In a written statement, the company today saying, we were shocked to hear the news of the horrifying incident that transpired at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We are cooperating fully with law enforcement to assist them in their investigation. Violence of any kind is never the answer. Allen describes himself online as developing this video game called Boredom, what he calls an atomic fighting game. On the gaming platform Steam, one of the popular tags used to find it was Bullet Hell. Another was Shooter.
I was shocked. I didn't believe it. I thought, no, they're just saying that.
Today, Allen's Torrance neighbors are left.
He invented a 1974 video game.
Arrested in the shoot.
It's really surprising, really shocking. I'm sad for his family. You know, his parents are good people. They don't deserve this. They're school teachers, solid, really solid members of the community.
Now, sources tell Associated Press that Allen's brother called police in Connecticut once he saw the message that his brother sent, but that call came 2 hours after the shooting. Meantime, Allen's sister told investigators that Allen bought the weapons legally in California, and he kept them here at his parents' house without his parents knowing. Reporting live in Torrance, Rob Hayes, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
When he ran past security like that, did he have weapons on him?
Yes. He started shooting.
I heard that he had a shotgun, a pistol. Was he in that?
He exchanged gunfire as soon as he got past the security breach. Salute to my man, Boy Kachin. He said, thumbnail challenge, glory. Shout out to Boy Kachina. Let's see. Hold on. What the fuck was that? Oh, so this is a new photo of him? God damn. Do you think he knows? You think he knows like he's never ever gonna be free again? Or you think that he thinks he can play this off with mental health?
Well, they'll probably make a case for him being mentally unstable. Because who
What
else
did the
would
other guy
just-
get? What did did they convict the golf course guy? What did he get?
Oh, he got life. He's done. He got life.
Oh, yeah, that's a wrap then. They brought back firing squad too, bro.
Well, when they factor in his teacher, Teacher of the Month award, they'll probably, cut his time.
Yeah.
We've got new pictures in breaking news released of the suspected gunman who stormed through a security checkpoint and shot a Secret Service agent at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The picture shows 31-year-old Cole Allen after he was tackled by law enforcement and arrested. A picture of the shotgun that he allegedly carried is also in these new pictures. A suspected gunman is going to face US federal court tomorrow. Let's go live to Kula, who is outside the suspect's home in Torrance, California. So we've just got these new pictures through. He's with that silver blanket over him as he lay there after he shot this pistol, I think it was, or at least a gun, a shot, perhaps not a shotgun, but certainly a handgun. But the manifesto is something that we're all focusing on at the moment.
Because it's such a window into how then this picture that you're showing came into being. The picture is extraordinary given how Torrance has known this son of this city. This is a guy who was raised here, who is the child of a teacher who taught at a local high school. So it is quite the extraordinary picture. And the manifesto really gives a window into his thinking leading up to that extraordinary act that he is alleged to have taken. So let's kind of break down exactly what is in this manifesto. It really does suggest all of this political anger directed certainly at the Trump administration square, at members of the Trump administration, where he talks about the higher the better, essentially, that he refers to himself as the friendly federal assassin. And his sister, talking to her local law enforcement, said that he had been increasingly involved in some left-wing groups in Los Angeles and had also practiced at a local gun range. Those two weapons that law enforcement says that were recovered off of his body. The reason why he was stripped and covered in that blanket, Laura, I should mention, is because law enforcement took off his clothes in order to discover all of those weapons to make sure he wasn't carrying anything else on him. It was a pistol that was purchased in 2023, a shotgun that you have the image of that was purchased in 2025. Those weapons were stored here in Torrance, California at his parents' home. We understand the parents had no idea. They did not know that those weapons were here in their home. He purchased some sort of rail transportation and traveled from Los Angeles all the way to Washington. It would have taken him some time to make that journey, but then those weapons wouldn't be discovered by any sort of metal detectors or any security protection getting into any sort of train. So he made that journey and then he took that action. He is facing tomorrow morning an arraignment. There are two very serious charges: using a firearm during a crime of violence, as well as assault on a federal officer using a dangerous weapon. And what we've seen here, lastly, if I could explain, Laura, what we've been seeing here in Torrance is law enforcement continuing to go door to door and try to talk to people to see if they could obtain Ring cameras. We heard them say that they were seeking Ring camera video. Every single house I'm looking at just here in my eyesight has a Ring camera. And so that suggests certainly they're still piecing together this timeline in order to build a case against Allen.
Yeah, that motherfucker, he done, bro. Straight up. ADX Florence. Uh-oh. I knocked out, y'all.
I love Caitlin Clark. Oh, Miss Katie. I dream about you, Miss Katie.
God damn, nigga, you good?
Here's another mint julep, Miss Katie. I know you like that. You don't let them sisters push you around now, Miss Katie. Hey, Ak. We're in hour 3. We just crossed over the 3-hour mark. He made it.
He's been doing good, man. This is the first time I've seen him pass out in a minute.
Salute to the sun, man.
I'm not passed out. Let me see.
You just got over the 3-hour mark, man. You made it.
Yeah.
You deserve a rest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You get some rest tonight. Great show, guys, man. Salute to who was this last person that donated, man? Salute to Deluxe, man. Deluxe 247, aka Cal Rookie, aka the real MVP. Coming through once again. Great show, guys. Same black time, same black channel. I'm out of here.
Peace.
Subscribe.